Welcome to the Ballin' for God podcast. I'm your host Russell, and we got Travis Severn alongside. It's the Christmas special this week, and we got some pretty loaded guests here. Loaded. It's 5 different segments on this show, and I don't know, it's a pretty good one.
Russ, it's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be a Christmas festival.
They're getting into it on TV right now. They're all about it. I mean, you got what's his name on there, and
what was that guy?
I don't know. He was an MVP of that All-Star game.
I don't know. You don't even know his name is, but yes.
Yeah, but we'll throw a picture of him up there in post.
Yes.
But it's gonna be a great one. As you know, we got the Blondis, we got the Wheelers, we got the Sloans, Pankey, we got Brown and some of his players. I mean, it's gonna be a fun one, I think.
Hey, we covered some bases we haven't done in 7 episodes together. You and I.
Yeah, we've
got. Go ahead.
A team down the road.
A team down the road. We talked to Bob Sloan.
Yeah.
And Andy. We talked Frankfurt Redbirds.
We did.
It was good. Not negative about the Redbirds.
It was not negative.
Wasn't negative. We talked to 3 different female athletes.
Yes, we did.
2 current and 1 former.
Yes.
It's a big step for us on the show.
Who's next? I mean, I
don't know what's next. I don't even know what we do next to top this.
This episode is great, though. I really enjoyed it. I mean,
marathon. It's a marathon.
Tom Wheeler's on it.
Tom Wheeler!
We got to go to Uncle Tom's garage. I mean,
yeah. Tom Wheeler's the man. He's I don't want to get emotional, but I love Tom a lot. He's like second dad to me. Great guy, friend, mentor. Was my sophomore basketball coach. Just a great dude. It was very exciting to have him and Bobby and Robbie Blondi, and it was a lot of fun, man. This show is a lot of fun.
What will cap the night off as long as the Lions lose? I mean, that's what would cap.
As long as the Lions lose, I'll be happy. My Bears. I mean, I wore my.
Yeah. The Bears did win.
Mike did. Oh yeah, sorry, Packer fan.
Yeah.
Sorry, Packer fan.
Sometimes I dislike the Lions more than I do the Bears, though. If I'm
okay, I appreciate that.
The Lions have just been, they've been frustrating me the past few years. I don't know. They got some dirty players, you know. Kirby Smart, is that his name?
Yeah, I don't like him. Joseph.
Kirby Joseph.
Joseph.
I don't know. He's so good at defense. Maybe I was confusing him with Marcus Smart.
I know.
But
you want to hit the trivia for the week?
Let's hit into trivia. Since we got West Frankfort football on here, they've been back in the playoffs a couple years in a row, but they haven't won. But when is the last time the West Frankfort Redbirds have won a playoff game?
That's the question. When's the last time the West Frankfort Redbirds have won a playoff game? That is Ballin' for God, show number 7 together, trivia.
Yeah, what's the sponsor?
All Stars and Stitches. Hey, All Stars and Stitches, 418 East Main, screen printing, embroidery, T-shirts, plaques, banners, medals, housewarming gifts, you name it. Call Big Dave. I'm going to let you do the number in a second, but 418 East Main, All Stars and Stitches. Give them a call up there. They'll make it. Hey, it's wintertime.
Our beanies.
Hey, what?
Get some beanies.
We got beanies coming. Our beanies will be here. Next show, we'll have our beanies. Our Ballin' for God beanies. It's big time. Russ, what's that number?
Go ahead and call 618-435-555-5555. That's great. We got to get Coach Heron's little...
We got to find it. that.
Ask your dad if he has it.
I'm sure he does.
But yeah, that's our trivia for this week. When was the first time? When was the last time the West?
Not the first time. Hopefully not the first time for them.
First time we go back to 1986, as mentioned on the show.
Oh, it was mentioned on the show.
But last time the West Frankfort Redbirds have won a playoff game
in football.
All right, now we're going to get into the show, and we're happy you're here, and it's a Christmas special.
Right, it's our first interview of the big Christmas special. And some guys I know pretty well, they might not want to admit that, but we've got in the house, in the big stone house today, Bob Blondi Jr., Bobby Blondi, and Robbie Blondi. Robert, Bobby, what do we call you guys?
I answered about everything.
Me too. Hey, thanks for coming on, guys. You need no introductions, but to the people out there watching us or listening to us, kind of introduce your guys selves.
You want to go first, Robbie?
Sure. Rob Blondi. I guess the point of me being on here is I've been a football and basketball official for this will be my 31st season of basketball. Just finished 31 seasons of football, and then have officiated with this guy for a long time until he had some health issues a couple of years ago. And then my brother as well, who isn't able to be here, but he was with us. We did 100 games together or so on basketball, and I don't know how many on football. We did probably, 4 or 5 years together, I'd say, on football and stuff like that. So that's kind of who I am.
Rob, you also are a former Benton standout football player, basketball, baseball player.
Yeah, I was
standout.
I was on teams. I did play a little, and I was good at cheering for them. My buddies.
You graduated in what, 95?
95. Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, we'll let Bob do his introduction here, then I'll just grill you guys with questions.
That'll work.
Bobby Blondi. I've been official for since 1967. I've got a tongue problem here. I can't speak real well.
I have a lot of problems. It's okay.
Yeah. I've done a state tournament in football and basketball. I was the second father's son to do basketball in the state of Illinois, so think about all the people that have, and all the years they played it. And now we were the first 3 generations to officiate. And now I've got a grandson officiating in Newton. He's 16 years old, so we'll be the first 4 generations.
Wow.
It's my daughter's, so he won't be a Blondi, but he's half Blondi.
He's the right half Blondi,
Yeah.
right?
Nolan Cleaver.
Nolan Cleaver.
His name. Yep.
Yeah. So I've officiated baseball, softball, football, and done college in all 4 sports. Mostly Division II, Division I in softball for 30-something years, and used to work all the scrimmages at SIU for probably 20 years, and just worked 30-something years with my dad, and who started in 42 and was the first. I'd like to write a book about him. I haven't done that yet.
You better hurry up.
First Italian-born official to work state finals.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. I mean, he's not Italian-born, but his mom and dad were both from Italy.
Sure.
So he's the first one to ever do that. What else can I say? He worked state finals too in basketball. Didn't have football back then.
What year did you guys do the state finals together? Do you remember?
No, I didn't do it together with
You
him.
did it together, okay.
No, he did it in 64, 65.
Okay.
I did it in 2003.
Okay.
2004 in basketball.
Okay.
And football was
It was 96.
96, 97, 98.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, where else can I go with that?
You officiated a lot of games, Bob.
Yes, I have. Yes,
Somebody
I have.
asked me one time not too long ago how many games that he's probably officiated.
No.
And, 5, 6 years or whatever it's been now.
Yeah.
Like, just think of how many. Softball, baseball, basketball, football, badminton,
Yeah.
ping pong,
Ping pong.
at home in the garage.
I remember the ping pong
Ping
table.
pong,
yeah.
those got vicious.
That was awesome.
He'd have to
Yeah.
intervene. So, but yeah, that's so many thousands and thousands and thousands. of
Countless games.
Yeah.
Just
there's
unbelievable.
I don't know how you would even count them up.
Sometimes I do a high school game on Saturday afternoon, do a college game on Sunday, or Saturday night, and do a college game on Sunday. Excuse my tongue, I can't. Got sore on my tongue, I can't talk real well. They always went with me when they were growing up, all 3 of them.
Spent a lot of time unsupervised running around
Yep.
gyms.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
It was,
We had a lot of fun.
I went with my dad. Still going with my dad when I was 5. And my brother wouldn't go. My brother was a year and a half older than I was. He didn't enjoy it as much as I did. So I was with him all those years and then got to officiate with him after that. So I'd love to write a book about him. Like I said, his first Italian-born official to work state finals. And didn't he play basketball? Played baseball and football in high school. And he started in 42 in the old gym inside the school, inside the Benton school.
Bob, I know you very well. I've known you most of my entire life. I was going to ask you this. What got your dad into officiating? What do you think got Bob into it?
Well, it was his old football coach, Claude Rhodes. They had a game in the afternoon in the old gym inside the school where the bus barn is now, and he didn't have telephone back then. They didn't have an official to show up. Came and got him, said, "You got to referee this game." Dad didn't know anything about it. Did it by himself. That's what started him.
See, and that's the thing people don't realize too. Like, most officials start because of somebody mentoring them. Starting them, asking them to go along, thinking they'd be good to do it, or just out of basic necessity where you need somebody to do it, and you're like, hey, you know sports.
Yeah.
Come here and do some sports. And so that's what, like Grandpa did, tons of people. Kenny Hungett told the story at his funeral that he got Kenny to go to do basketball and stuff, got him involved and everything. And he said, he told him, he said, hey, Friday night we're going to go to West Frankfort and do a basketball game. He said, I'll come by and pick you up. He said, okay. So come by, comes by and gets him, they go do the game, everything goes fine. Came back, dropped him off. He said, okay, next week we're going to Cairo, you drive. And he laughed because he said he drove specifically to West Frankfort because it was closer and made Kenny drive because it was all the way down to Cairo. Yeah, but that's what is lacking, I think, anymore, and it can be in, like officiating. A lot of young guys aren't getting into it because there really aren't a lot of people promoting it. I mean, the older guys are kind of getting out of it. They're not going to pull a guy in and have him travel with them necessarily, or if they're quitting, you've just got that big gap that, you have to have those guys recruiting those guys.
That's another thing. I taught classes at officiating for 45 years. I just now quit that.
Yeah,
I thought that was always just an excuse for us to play basketball on Sunday.
It was.
Ren Lake and John A., and you've been a clinician for a long time.
40 years.
Yeah, in basketball and football.
And baseball and softball. I'm the only one in the state of Illinois had 4 conditioning licenses.
Wow.
So I taught a lot of guys how to do it, and it wouldn't change anything. It just had a great time.
Russ, you're that new generation. I know these guys well. You're 18. This is the new world of sports. I mean, these guys, him and Dr. Young and Camden over there. We've got, this is the new breed of what's going on with sports and shows and everything. I mean, what do you think about,
I would just like to ask, what was it like going from your growing up loving sports as a kid and then into high school to now looking at sports? How do you look at it differently from a referee to just being a kid loving sports?
Me?
Yeah, or just both of you guys.
You want to go?
With me, it's probably fairly true with him. Like he was saying, going with his dad, my grandpa, and then me going with him, he probably knew he was going to do that, at some point, I would say, because I kind of just assumed it as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're a Blondi, you have to ref.
It's kind of, Brad wasn't a huge fan of it, but he did it, so that ought to tell you something. And and the money can be okay. It's okay for a short amount of time that you're doing it, but you've got to figure in travel and, lots of other stuff. But anyway.
Camden, there's someone here. You want to tell them where to go?
Camden, you got to coordinate this.
Camden, you got to coordinate. There's people.
Yeah, come on, intern.
Come on.
Get on it.
We'll have him just come in and sit down. Doing great. He's nervous.
It's his first show.
His first show. Well, he's
That's
in
what I
it.
said.
He's in it.
But so when I was playing, I would look at it, and I knew most of the referees. I'm sure you knew every referee too.
Yeah, I did.
So we knew what through their eyes, and we could talk to them, and I would tell guys I was playing with, like, hey, listen, he's not going to deal with that, like you can't do that or whatever. There's certain things that people can do in games, but so that was probably, I'm sure, similar to what you did in your when you went into sports, high school sports in general, and then after that, right?
Yeah.
So we kind of always, sorry to cut you off, but I think we've always seen it through that eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, you've coached besides being a referee, so you've been on both sides of it.
I have. I've coached 25 years in basketball, baseball, and softball. Didn't coach football. I tried to keep my cool. As you well know, I didn't yell and scream at anybody during games. I just, whatever happened, happened, and I just took it and went on. A couple times I got upset, but I didn't say anything about it. Maybe said something to him after the game, but not. No, I just tried to be very professional about it. But my philosophy now is I don't like the way the game's played. I like baseball because they make them behave. I was very strict in how I had even players for me wouldn't let them talk back to the officials and wouldn't let them question officials. And I don't like that during the games. I don't like the hot dogging. It's hard for me to take nowadays watching these games nowadays and watch how these players act. But my dad was the same way. He was very, very strict and just tried to control the game, and that's what I did too. We had a game at K-Roll where Darren Kennard videoed us, and we had a story about us.
That was Meridian versus K-Roll.
Meridian. So,
Meridian.
you know, we're in the minority at the game. Now, I've been there many times, knew quite a few of the people. Had to stop the game in less than 2 minutes to go in the game because they got in a fight in the stands.
It happens.
We did not finish the game. So that was Darren Kennard did a story on us in officiating, with working with my boys and then working with my dad, and it was very, very well done. But it's just the way things go nowadays. It's just we never finished the game. We just went on finally. We couldn't get people off the floor.
Bob, let me ask you this. One of the reasons we're doing the Christmas special is just, obviously a lot of people know you from sports, but the show, the Balling for God, which is Russell's whole platform and everything, and talk a little bit about, it's Christmas season. This is our Christmas show. I know this already, but the viewers out there or people listening might not know. How important is family to the Blondis? Sorry, Bob.
Yeah.
We're pretty close. Yeah, we're a very close-knit family. Always have been, part of our heritage and stuff like that. And
Italian Stallions.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So, it's why he gets choked up. We value that a lot. And that was part of, I think, why you see a lot of Italian, like you see any more like coaches and stuff like that. I think it's the community aspect of it and just the way that the family has always been important, in that culture in a way.
Sure.
Like Tony La Russa, you think of all the baseball guys,
Yeah.
or Patino and stuff like that.
Hey, my mom's side of the family was Italian. I
right.
1,000% understand.
Yeah.
It was pretty special to do all the years I did. I even sold insurance with him, like 25 years too. And I saw him every day till he died at 75. I'm 76 years old, so he died at 75, a cruel death, Parkinson's, and just a horrible, horrible situation. But it was just very special to me. I look just like him too. That's how I met my wife. Can I tell this story?
Yeah, tell it.
So I'm walking through registration at Southern. I worked at Southern registration.
Yeah, we want to know, did she lose a bet or what?
What?
Did Mary lose a bet?
Yeah. And all of a sudden, I'm not saying, a little old lady grabs me behind and says, "You have to be Bob Blondi's boy, because I look just exactly like him." Yes, I am. Well, she's telling me she is. She's from Benton originally, and she's there to register her daughter. Well, Mary walked around the corner, and I said, "I can take care of that right now." So I took her, registered. We dated for, 8 years, and been married 50 years now. So, all because I'm my dad.
Well, you
It acts quite a bit like him too. Now, he cussed a lot more than I did. But,
striking good looks.
yeah, right. But think about the times when he started. You didn't have telephones. Colin came and got him out of the house.
How did people coordinate games back then?
Oh, I don't have
amazing?
any
I mean,
idea.
Coach Wheeler
That's-
walked in. We're going to talk to him next when we talk to the Wheeler clan. But, honestly, I'm thinking about this logistics. These guys here, Doc Young and Russ, they're 18, 19 years old. They're on these phones 27 hours a day.
Right.
I mean, how did athletic directors, how did they get a hold of referees back?
I have no idea.
How did this all happen? They scheduled this like 2 years in
I have
advance?
no idea. It just,
Telegraph?
Hey, I tell you what's funny is people like I was talking to somebody the other day about postseason assignments, and he was like, "It's somebody who's my age." He said, "I can't remember how they told us before the internet, like which wasn't that long ago,
No.
really. But I mean, they sent you something in the mail, you know.
Sure,
I mean,
mail.
And with this stuff, it was contracts, which I got a contract from Wendell Wheeler, for the Camden tournament, which is the first thing I think I've gotten in the mail for a long time. I'm surprised it made it to me in Valier, but
The patch.
that's what it was. They can attest all this. I mean, you literally, all the methods we have of communication now, and people still don't communicate. You know, I mean, we have so many
Hey,
different
you had the
ways.
wrong phone number for me.
I did. I had the wrong number for you. I had no idea you had a different number. Yeah, so I mean, you just had to answer your phone. You had to check your mail. You got your mail. I mean, and then when you
have
said,
mail.
and you had to do what you said you were going to do. So when you said you made an agreement to be there, you were there. You know, now
You
you've
didn't have
got
as many people backing out back then, I
no,
bet.
Yeah, right,
no,
right.
now because then they wouldn't get another game.
Yeah.
Sure.
There were a lot more officials back then. You know, I mean, so you got
well, that's another thing. The amount of officials in the state of Illinois is less than 7,000 it was 20 years ago.
Less
You
than
got
7,000 now.
In the whole
7,000
state.
in the whole
What
state.
is the amount? Do you guys know?
I don't know.
It's on. I mean, it's on the IHSA website.
Yeah,
You can
sure.
look it up, and you can even see if you can type in, say, like Salem South, you know, and it'll tell you proximity, like how many officials are from in football, even from Salem South, or basketball from Mount Vernon South. It will tell you. Like I think White County, Carmi, whole county. There's like 2 football referees in White County.
And the whole east side of the state, there's not very many officials at
Yeah,
all.
so and even our counties around there, there's maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Bob, what's the answer? How do you get? What will the state need to do to get people to officiate?
They've got to, they first of all have to raise the pay. And second of all, they have to be able to control the coaches better than they do. And then third of all, they have to be able to control the crowds. I can tell
So
many
you're
stories.
saying that there won't be officials in a couple of years?
Yeah, and it's just, well, you've got games being canceled now. Your games being played, 2 or 3 played in a day because those guys go work those games because there's nobody else to do them.
Well, that's why you have a freshman JV game, you know, before a
On the
varsity
same
game.
night now because you can't get people to do
You
them.
get 2 sets to do that, you know, to do 1 set to do JV, freshman JV, and then another one to do the varsity. Same thing with girls.
Well, I'll just tell you a story about, this is 68.
We weren't born, but yes.
Yeah, I was a freshman at Southern.
Were you?
Oh,
I was working then, but I didn't work with, my dad did the Mount Vernon, Carbondale game.
But there's some athletes in that game.
Oh my gosh, you had 3 that played in the played the NBA.
3 players in the NBA in that
3
game.
played the NBA in that game.
Wow. You
And-
remember who they were? Or? Tommy D, who were they?
Yeah, he would probably know.
Tom, who was it? Hawthorne.
Nate
Nate
Hawthorne.
Hawthorne.
68, Carbondale, Mount Vernon.
Les Taylor.
Les Taylor.
Who?
Said he had a good point guard.
Anyway,
Yeah.
during the game, I'm sitting at scores bench just watching the game, and 2 guys jump out of the stands and grab my dad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I ran on the floor at the same time they did when I saw them happen. This cop stops me, says, "Where you going?" I said, "That's my dad that got hold of me." He said, "That's my dad's got a hold of your dad." And I said a few choice words to him. I said, "Get your dad off of him or I'm going to be over there. I'm going to whip their." So anyway, they arrest those guys, and we finished the game. At the end of the game, it ends up with a controversial call. Claude Rose was dad. No, I didn't say it was a wrong call. Put Carbondale on the line. They made 2 free throws, won the game by 1 point. And after the game, it was just a complete riot.
Oh, wow.
As we get downstairs in the old Shagnall gym, there's a guy there with a gun pointed right at us.
Oh my.
And I'm leading the charge down the steps. I'm 18 years old, scared to death, of course. And they were yelling, "Gun, gun, gun," not to go any further, so we stopped. He said a few choice words to us. I didn't even work the game, but the state policeman came behind him, knocked him down, took the gun away from him. So that's just one of the many things that I've seen over the years.
I bet you guys learned to make the right call.
Yeah. But I've been, it's just been, it's been a lot of fun, but when you have those bad times like that, scares you to death. I mean, I've been chased after games, been hit after games.
Bob, we're trying to get people to want to officiate.
Yeah.
We brought you on as a bastion of officiating.
Then that's a good point, because like we want to think that things like that, like it's so bad. We talk about how bad things are here, there, whatever. It's not that bad.
No, it isn't that bad. No, no.
I've never seen a gun at a game besides a cop having one on his hip. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not – things have got – like, we think that some – and granted, there are misbehaviors, whatever. But as a whole, I mean, I know he doesn't like the way the game's played. I don't particularly like exactly how it's played either, but there are some phenomenal athletes.
Oh,
Kids at small schools that, you know, can do things that they never used to be able to. I mean, because of, you know, learning stuff in nutrition and science and just, you know, exercise-wise. But, like, you know, you would never see a junior high kid dunk. Now we have them. Sure. It happens. You know, you know that's – so things are not as bad as what we want to let on.
No. I wouldn't have done all these years.
Right.
Sure. Bob, let me ask you this. Who are, I always like, that's why I like having you guys on. This younger generation, they haven't been taught a lot of this stuff. I was very thankful. I had a dad that took me to ball games everywhere, but not every kid has that. And I'm just going to give you an example, and Rob will understand this, and Bob, you will too. I'll never forget, I take, so Trey, my son's, you know, freshman in college now. So in 5th grade, that'd been 8 years ago. We're in the 5th grade basketball tournament. We're in the Rich Heron gym, and I just take this stuff for granted. And now Trey Severin knew because I put all this stuff in his head for all these years. But I asked the guys, hey, who knows some of those jerseys? Now, these are Benton kids. I didn't have random kids in the locker room. And I worship JoJo Johnson and those guys. Half of them didn't even know who that was.
Yeah.
And I'm talking Trey's, this is 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm not talking, you know, JoJo's been out of school 65 years. I mean, Joe played in, you know, 92. We go to a state tournament. Rob, you're a freshman. I'm in 8th grade. That's why I think it's important to talk about some of the stuff. If not, I know everybody has one of these. Everybody's got one of these, but it feels like we're less connected than we've ever been.
Right.
I agree. I think that the communities don't necessarily support the programs like they used to as well. I mean, I went to the Christopher Sesser game, and it's a rivalry game, which obviously Waltonville Woodlawn was playing up the road, but still Christopher and Sesser, that's a big rivalry, and I'd say maybe 70% was filled there.
Yeah.
And then I went over to Carterville versus Nashville yesterday, and it's not like they're rivals, but the
crowd was low.
It was low. I'd say it was maybe 20 to 30% filled, and both teams were one-loss teams at that time.
Two of the best teams in Southern Illinois.
Yeah, and I think what it is that people lose. I don't know if it's because of COVID. I think that COVID definitely hit it.
Yeah.
But it's like there's not many people going out to the games for one, and then whenever you don't go out to the games, you're not going to want to be a referee or be involved with sports or anything. And I think we have to somehow get people back to the games.
Just watching it on your phone, and I'm not knocking because we're going to have a guy on here, a few guests down the road that does stuff online and stuff just like we do. It's awesome. I mean, when you can't get out, it's probably nice to be able to go online and watch it. Mm-hmm. Tom, I know back there, Tommy D's watch ball games online, and I'm not against that, but I like what Russell just said. That kind of clicked in my head. When you're at the game live, maybe that makes some kid, a man or woman, say, I want to be a referee.
Yeah.
I like that. On TV, you might not see the same atmosphere as when you're there and it's a packed house. And, you know, I've seen some videos when TJ was playing at Christopher. I mean, I'm sure they should have, Linda can attest to this, and Donna, they probably should have had the fire marshal in there because the gym was packed. And you might have reffed some of those games. But, I mean, a Sesser Christopher game in the 80s, you probably could have stolen anything you wanted at anybody's house in both those towns because everybody was there. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And part of that, too, like being at a game, I mean, like honestly, in the stands more than he is paying attention to the game, talking to people.
Hey, shut up.
Yeah, he's interacting with the crowd. He's kidding with them and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of good guys, that's what they did. They knew people. It's nice to, you know, to go and see. And that's what, like, the last few years, you know, I said, you know, he said the state guys had told him when he went to state that he couldn't talk to people, and he's like, well, I'm going to do it anyway.
You weren't going to stop your dad.
No, that's what he likes to do it because he wants to interact. He loves to see people. I enjoy the same thing. I mean, it's a really nice thing to do. So you watch it on TV, you don't get that same interaction.
Yeah, no doubt. I rewatched Benton versus Peeneyville games from last year, and I was there for all 3 games, and a great atmosphere for all of them. But I love that atmosphere. It's one of my favorite atmospheres. But now if I go back to watch the video, it's not like I'm there. I don't feel that same feeling.
You don't see the same juice watching it as you do, right?
Yeah, no doubt. But I think that if people got back to the games, I think there would be more referees and more coaches and all that stuff. But looking back to talking about those type of games, what are your favorite games that you guys have got to be a part of?
Oh, boy.
That's a good one, too.
Yeah, very good
We have
question.
35 more guests, so
Yeah.
I know, like, for me, like, some of those here's a good one. I was young. I mean, this has probably been 20 years ago. It was at Gallatin County.
Yeah.
And we had Galatia. It was when the Sloan kid from Galatia was playing. And Gallatin Derek Sloan.
No, he was a scoring machine.
Yes.
2,200 points.
Yes.
How many?
2,200.
Yeah.
Oh, Russell's dad, Galatia, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you know. Yeah, so this is probably, what year did he play?
He was
6, 7, 8?
Yeah. He
Ish.
graduated 05.
05, okay. I was close-ish.
Close enough.
We have Gallatin County. Gallatin had a kid that was one of their leading scorers of all time, too. I can't remember his name, and then Radar was coaching.
Radar.
And I think Wallace was the Galatia coach.
Robert.
But it was you and I and
William Wallace?
I can't think of his name.
I know
I can picture him, but I can't think of his
Braveheart.
name. We had triple overtime.
Oh, wow.
Triple overtime, which, every referee says you don't get paid for overtime. So we do not want to do
Extra soda.
We don't want to do overtime. But I tell you what, that night, I didn't care. If it went 4, I'd have been fine with it. Like, it was that much fun to watch. And everybody was really enjoying it and having fun. I mean, it was a great
Great atmosphere.
Great
That's when the
atmosphere.
GEC was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were strong.
Rob, you were on an awesome game last year. I mean, weren't you on the sectional final?
That was
You were on, that was who?
that was Goreville and Meridian.
That game was wild.
Yeah.
I kept pointing on the TV. I was watching on TV. I know that guy. I know that ref.
Yeah. I was up in Centralia. I really wish I could have gone. I mean, I was up in Marion for Centralia tryout. I wish I could have been there,
That was
but
a wild game.
Oh my gosh.
I kept checking my phone. I was watching it online.
Yeah. And Meridian did the same thing to Waltonville that they did to Goreville, which is, they were down by 10 or so in
Yeah.
the fourth
Yeah.
and came back, and just because they
Pressure.
they smell blood in the water.
Well, we
man.
talked to Gage Pearson last week from Waltonville, and he said it feels like they got 10 guys on the court.
Yeah.
And
Every pass
they're
is deflected
everywhere.
or stolen or
Yeah. And they're not that big, or you know what I'm saying? They
And most of the time they don't have a center.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't with Flanoy, but a lot of times
They cover a lot of ground.
Yesterday, and if Cairo, those two freshmen are tremendous, but the Woodson and Duncan, they're probably 6'1". If they had a 6'4" to 6'6" kid, forget it. I mean,
Isn't that funny too? I know there's bigger kids still. I mean, you've got some 6'6", 6'7" kids here
Sure.
and there, but it seemed like
everybody had a center.
forever everybody had like a 6'5" to 6'8" kid.
Yeah.
I mean, Benton back in the day had
Sure.
all those 6'8", 6'9" guys or whatever.
I know.
And it may not be that people are as interested or whatever.
I blame Ren
but
Lake Water.
That's got to be
Yeah.
it. It's genetics. It's something in the
I
water.
mean, we're out here at Ren Lake. I mean, we're 20 feet from the ocean.
How
like
about
the
me being
ocean.
5'6" and
smell-
having the boys 6'3" and 6'2"?
Yes.
So,
Before we let you get out of here, Russ got a couple questions for you guys.
just it's kind of cliche because a lot of people hear it, but I mean, like, what's Christmas truly mean to your family? As in, you guys get a lot of family back in town and all that. What's it mean to you guys?
Yep, gonna have to be me again.
Choke him up a little bit.
He's getting soft in his old age. It's everything, of course. I mean, we actually stay at the cabin, one of the cabins in the woods here. Every
Plug.
on Christmas, yeah, exactly. On Christmas Day, my brother makes the world round trip, and my sister comes down. We all get together and just have a really, really good time, and it's just
it's pretty special.
yeah. We're fortunate that we're able to do that because not everybody can.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mean to be sentimental about this, but I've died twice in the past 3 years. So for me to be here at all, I'm very lucky. And it's just been, being Italian, I'm pretty sentimental anyway. But it's just a great, I've always wanted to write a book about my dad.
We gotta get this. He's the third time he said book.
Yeah.
We gotta get
Yeah.
a book.
Talk to Matt
Yeah.
Wynn about it.
Yeah.
We
But,
gonna call Matt Wynn when we're done, or what?
yeah. Yeah, Matt did a good job with the Benton book.
Yes, he did.
But I just haven't done it. I need to do it before I get too much further down the road. he's just a special human being. Just
I still get people that will say, I remember your grandpa. Or, when I was in high school, he was reffing my games. Like that was
referee
still.
tunnel games,
Yeah.
and I referee tunnel games. So
And Bob, and I know this with Christmas here too. Faith's been real important to your lives. I mean, you've been Ballin' for God's the name of the program, but I mean, you've been an active member. You're in the Methodist Church for a long time. I mean, I know Faith's carried you probably through. If you didn't have your faith, you might not have made some of these last few years.
you're right, exactly right. Yeah, it's very,
I'm
very
not trying to get
special.
you to cry.
Yeah,
Doesn't take much.
doesn't take much anymore. Just lucky to be here, lucky to be as good as I am.
Yep.
And very fortunate to have been through what I've been through with my kids, my dad. Just had a great life. It's been, got a picture of me and Tom, and he's coaching, I'm refereeing. He said something to me, I don't know what I'm sure he smarted off to me. No, he didn't. But it's things that, and then we ended up playing ball together. It's just the
How
whole.
about the softball days?
Yeah.
I mean, there's the athletes
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
Who's a better softball player, Tom? You or Bobby?
No comment.
Tom was.
That's part of it too. Picking up basketball, pick up stuff, independent leagues, talking, keeping people involved. There's not as much. There's no
Yeah.
softball leagues anymore.
No.
I mean, I ran around. We all ran
Oh, I
around
know.
back in the day.
I remember, just shameless plug here, but all those years you were doing an unbelievable job with your clinics. You knew allow us, Rob and I and Brett, and our friends to come in and play basketball. I can't tell you how many thousand Sunday afternoons I've played basketball because you were having those guys officiate and learn how to ref.
Right.
And we got to play. I mean,
We did.
I haven't done that in forever. Have you?
No. And these guys played till they were 60. You know what I mean? I couldn't imagine doing it now.
I mean, Critter about
I'd
put me out
die.
a few times with that elbow. Mark
Yeah.
Crisp.
Yeah.
Who are the guys? Before we get out of here, who are the guys we
There
used to
you
play
go.
basketball with? I got to hear this. Name them.
Mark Crisp,
Randy Hungett.
Randy Hungett, Leroy Page. Golly.
I know, right? I'm doing
Yeah.
the same thing. That's
The
what,
guy that was the meat cutter. Jan
Melvin.
Jan
Jan
Melvin.
Melvin. There's a million of them.
Basically the same bunch every Sunday. Just got us. I probably played. Well, I played like he said. I played in my 60s. Those guys had to quit because I don't hurt anywhere. I'm very lucky. Nothing on me hurts, but they had to quit because they usually got hurt. I can't think of their names now.
Dan.
It's terrible.
Hurley, your buddy David Hurley used to play with us. Didn't Dave play?
No,
No? Lord have mercy.
Richard Breeden.
Richard Breeden. I'm naming people here.
Breeden.
UConn coach?
Rodney Potts did.
Rodney Potts. What'd you say?
Early.
Yeah, Rodney Potts. I
Rodney
always like to
Potts.
guard. Oh, Tommy D's got something. Throw it in, Coach.
What you got?
Ask Mr. Blondi about the softball state tournament at Kankakee and what he did to my 13-year-old son.
What'd you do, Bob?
Well, Leonard Hopkins playing short. I'm playing second.
Who's playing where?
Leonard Hopkins is playing short.
Okay.
I'm playing second. We're winning the game. Going to be in the state finals.
You're playing with a Redbird.
No, yeah, we had Christopher Redbird. We had a bunch of them.
My gosh.
The ball's hit to me. I throw it to Leonard at second. Had to run at first. And we're up by 5-6 runs at the time. Going to be in the state finals. And a guy takes him out on purpose, breaks his ankle.
Oh.
Does it on purpose. We only have 10 guys. So to finish the game, I put him in the lineup. He's 14 years old.
13.
And 13?
Yeah.
He didn't look it, though.
TJ?
Yeah, he didn't
He
look
looked
at
like a
all.
man.
Yeah, he looked like a man at that time.
Yeah.
And he wasn't on the roster. We put another name on
Yeah.
there. And
Well, you used Wendell's name. Wendell played.
we used Wendell's name. Yeah, we used his brother's name. Yeah. Yeah.
Wendell wrote his name.
Yeah. And they made us forfeit the game. Well, I went crazy. Oh my God.
believe
If I could have killed that guy, I would have killed him. Because they did it on purpose.
Goodness.
Then we only had 10 guys. So a lot of times, like just things that, the life of sports has been great to me. I was also a musician.
What?
I played for University of Bands of Southern. You didn't know that?
Yeah, you
No.
told me, but I just
Yeah,
forgot.
yeah. I still play my clarinet, and I'll play it this morning.
Robbie was a saxophone,
Yeah.
weren't you?
Very
All
sax.
four of my
buddy.
kids, all three of my
Very
kids
sax.
played. All four of us. I had a brother and a sister. I had a twin sister and a brother and another sister. All four played in University Bands together at Southern. Used to feature us.
By the way, my only accolade was I was an All-South and I was in the All-South Band in 1993. Other than that, I never got any kind of
Rob,
award.
your only accolade is you were the most famous person ever to do a TV commercial for Black Diamond Harley Davidson. And I'm going to tell you right now, you guys, Dr. Young, Russ, Camden over there, you know how to use YouTube. You better YouTube. What was the character's name?
There was no name.
You didn't have a name? Your character didn't have a name?
That was the whole allure, man. It was the mystique.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Am I even allowed to say that was you?
Well,
I don't think
alleged.
It
It's
looked
alleged.
like you.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
It's alleged. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
What years? When was
That was 08. I did for like 2 years in Marion. I probably did 10 or 15 of those, and then I went down to the Cape store, and then I probably did another 10 down there or something
Russ,
like
have
that.
you ever seen one of these?
I have not.
Dance!
Come on down to Black Diamond Harley Davidson, Marion, Illinois. At Black Diamond Harley Davidson, we're ready for anything. Got a car, got a boat, even chickens. We got over 350 bikes in stock. All credit applications will be submitted. Just log on to the internet at blackdiamondhd.com.
Sweet!
Everybody conga! But wait, there's more! Buy this stuffed animal for $9,500. Get this Dhana for free. Call us on the phone or click on the internet. Having's never tasted this sweet. Dance! Come on down to Black Diamond Harley Davidson, Marion, Illinois. We've got to sell some motorcycles. We're packed to the gills. We got bikes as low as $29.95. These prices will blow you away. You got bikes like this Sportster. Get yourself on one right at home. Your wife's gonna love it. You got a job, a checkbook, a credit card, and you got a reason to live. Here's just one of our million satisfied customers. Bring everyone you know. Come on down here. Call us on the phone or click on the internet. Dance! Come on down to Black Diamond Harley Davidson, Marion, Illinois. We got more bikes than Illinois got crooked politicians. We got Jamba prices. Do you know what that means? Shazam! This bike was $7 million. Now it's $7,000. Save! Punching deals, slashing prices, and weapon competition. Call us on the phone or log on the internet. Savings never tasted this sweet. Dance!
It was interesting. It was an interesting period in my life as well. So
My mom's still alive then. She saw one of them. I didn't tell her he was doing them. And she goes, he's acting like an idiot. I said,
this is true.
Yeah,
She knew it was me.
calm.
She knew it was me.
she knew it was him.
Yeah, which the funny part too, like I thought he would hate it and my mom would love it, and it was the opposite. She didn't like it and he thought it was hilarious.
It just, I heard it, and I thought that's Robbie's.
It was a little over the top.
He had not told me he was doing them, and I looked at the TV and I thought, who in the world is that idiot that has?
Because I was
stolen
screaming and
Robbie's
yelling and
voice?
stuff.
It's
Like,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I thought somebody stole, they dubbed in Robbie's voice, and this idiot is out.
It'll go down some of the greatest commercials ever in the 618 area code, ever.
That's not a very high bar to have, but
Well,
you know, I'll
You
take
and Dan
it.
Walters.
I'll take it.
I mean, you and Dan Walters.
Yeah.
Who else?
He got paid a lot more than I did.
Well, that's all right.
If we can find it, I'm gonna throw it in there.
Oh, I guarantee we'll find them. I'll find them when we're done
I've
this
got him
interview.
on email. If I can send you, like, I've got like 4 of them if you want them.
Wait a minute. Speaking of commercials, I made your brother pretty famous.
Yes, you did. This is true.
I mean, that TV commercial still plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me
This
and
is
Brad.
true. Yeah, that's a good point. It's
Go
you.
back to Tom Wheeler. My dad refereed games he played in high school and college. Played in
Oh,
Kinley.
my gosh.
Yeah,
And
how about
Tom's-
that?
Like,
Yeah.
he's Bob's 76. Sorry for saying your age. I won't give your social on the air, but
It's 4. It's just a number 4.
just
That's his social. Yeah.
they. Wow, Tommy D might be. He's around that age. No.
He's been around a little bit.
Yeah. Russ, last thing for these guys. I know they got to get out of here. Christmas is close.
Well, you know, it's we're wrapping this segment up, but what's your guys' plans for this holiday? You guys have any plans?
Getting together day after Christmas
We do about the same thing every year. We get together.
over here at the cabin in the woods.
We go to my cousin's.
Yeah.
We have a couple. We'll do a couple, you know, different parts of family, and then we finish the night
My
up
twin
here.
had a daughter that lives in Whittington. We go to her house, and
She's a teacher, right?
she teaches at Benton grade
Chrissy,
school.
yeah,
Yeah,
teaches my wife.
Chrissy Taylor. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's just a great time. Great.
What's your go-to, Bob? What's your go-to? I mean, when it's Christmas, I like to ask people random questions. What is your favorite food? What do you like to eat?
Pasta.
Pasta. My gosh, he's Italian.
Yeah.
Pasta. Rob, don't say pasta.
We have to cater to whatever he wants.
I'm
That's
sure
the
we'll
funny thing. He's the pickiest eater ever, so it's
Yeah.
like everything's
You eat
spaghetti.
pasta on Christmas.
Yeah, we eat spaghetti on Christmas. We do.
Wow.
Because that's what he wants.
With
So-
syrup, like on Elf. Like on Elf.
My go-to is deviled eggs.
Oh,
Oh,
Never
man.
go wrong with that.
I do like those too.
I will eat.
I love the Trey. Trey. That's what he.
Oh.
My mom makes deviled eggs. He tries to hide it.
It's almost like you can't make them any other time of year for some weird reason. You feel like you can't, but then
No, I don't eat them any other time.
No, the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas,
Yeah.
and that time it's like, now I got to eat 30.
We gotta make up for the whole year.
That's exciting. I can make them at home. I just choose not to. It's better when somebody else does.
Well, guys, I know you're busy. I know everything going on. I know it's been fun. Next time when Brett's down, we'll get the whole clan together. But Bobby Blondi, Robbie Blondi, Mary in the background, Smith over there. We appreciate you guys coming on the Ball and For God show, man. The big
Thank
show
you guys.
podcast.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate what you guys do, and thank you for having us.
Appreciate that.
Well, we definitely appreciate what you guys do
Well, appreciate
with
that.
referee and
I
all
don't
that.
like referees, but I love you two.
I don't like them either.
It keeps the games going.
They got to have us.
Yeah. Well,
Well, that's the thing. Games have been canceled because there's not enough guys going around anymore.
yeah.
Because people aren't getting into it. I used to try to recruit people. I don't recruit people anymore.
You
It's
get
short.
Camden.
Oh,
Yeah, get Camden
yeah.
Candace, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Guys, appreciate you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
Appreciate it. Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas.
Well, that will wrap up our first segment, and we'll get over to our second segment of what 10 today. It feels
10,
like.
I think we'll
You
have
got
10
10
more.
today? Wow.
No, it sounds good.
It'll feel like it when
I
you're
feel like
done.
I gotta-
All right, now we're going on to our second segment, and it's a pretty well-known family there in Christopher, Illinois, and Franklin County, and the whole state, with one of their sons playing for University of Illinois. And do you guys want to just introduce yourselves? Tell everybody who you are. Everybody should know who you are, but just let everybody get a refresher.
Well, with that hat, who knows? They might not.
You might not recognize, I'm Tom Wheeler and I live in downtown Buckner.
I'm Dhana Wheeler. I live in downtown Buckner.
And I'm Hunter Wheeler, and I live in DuQuoin now, but from Christopher.
The Wheeler clan. Now, obviously, that little big brother of yours couldn't make it today. We'll have him on in the future. But Tom, Donna, it's and Hunter. It's a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys made it over. This show is going to be about a few things: sports, faith, family. I know. Obviously, when I asked Mr. Blondi, who was on first, when I brought that stuff up, it got him pretty emotional. But I'll start with the easy stuff with sports. Kind of introduce as far as, you got to realize something. And I've learned this being with him this is our 7th show. When Gage Peterson comes on, all these people his age, they know. They know all about him. They know his Instagram. They know his whatever. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things that I have a passion for is kind of teaching the game, not just basketball, football, baseball, men's and women's sports, but just kind of the history that I worry with these. I said this to the Blondi. I worry with phones that, yes, you can talk to people anywhere, but I worry that sometimes the history of some of this stuff, I don't want it to go by the wayside.
Okay.
So maybe you're one of about how many Wheelers?
There was 5 of us.
Wow.
Five Wheelers and
And
Donna.
okay, I'm gonna break up, you can tell.
It's okay.
4 brothers, so it was 5 Wheeler boys, and we graduated from 5 different high schools in 4 different states. So that will give you what do you want to call it, the background of my kid, my brothers and everything, and
Coach, are you the oldest?
yes.
Kind of go through.
Yeah, I was the oldest, and then Steve, my brother Steve, was the one that was athletic director and basketball coach over at Johnson City, and he graduated from Morganfield, Kentucky. And of course, I graduated from McLeansboro. And then I had a brother named Danny Joe Wheeler that was leading tackler on the 10-0 team at Johnson City called Chico. And Chico was a little different than the rest of us. We thought maybe Mom had found him on the front porch one morning, real early.
Goodness.
See anybody, you run in Johnson City from that 10-0 team and ask about Chico, and they'll say the same thing. But anyway, he graduated from Johnson City, and then of course my brother Wendell, as everybody knows, so successful at DuQuoin and Patoka and Newton. And he ended up, his his junior year, he was playing football for Coach Carnes at DuQuoin. He was a split end with John Gross as a quarterback, and as soon as the game was over, him and Mom moved to Fort Morgan, Colorado. So all of a sudden he goes from, but anyway, he had a successful baseball. He was in the Hall of Fame out of Fort Morgan in baseball, and then he come back to Rend Lake for 2 years, and then he went to Eastern Washington University because Mom and Dad was out at Seattle. And 2 months after he started school, Dad moved to North Carolina. And then my baby brother, Scotty was born actually my second year of teaching, and Mom thought she had cancer, and she found out, no, you're pregnant.
Oh, wow.
You're pregnant down there with a 7.5 month, baby. So that's sort of where we all ended up, and I started, of course, teaching at Johnson City, and saw this little girl and Daisy Duke shorts, and I said, "Oh,
That's all it took."
Yeah, I mean, Travis, it's a good. I know you've got a good heart, but you couldn't have handled it. And 58 years, and 58 years and 20 days later, she's still putting up with them, And
Wow.
along the way, of course, I had TJ jumped on when we were in Nashville, and Donna D. Was born when we were there in Johnson City before we moved. And I always question. Can I say this? I always questioned about TJ being so big. And at Nashville, we had a big postman, and I started thinking back and everything. And about my third year with Jim Muir, we went to Nashville to
saw
do
his
a
radio
game. And I said, look, Jim, look at the JV. They got 5 guys over 6'8". I said, it's in the water. So I felt a lot better when I knew it was in Nashville water.
Nashville water.
And so anyway, I've been to, hung in there at Christopher for a long time, and I've actually been retired 26 years now, and we live right there on T.J. Wheeler Street in Buckner. And yes, I'm the one that's got the garage full of a lot. A lot of them are calling it the Sports Museum. I just call it Tom's Garage. And then along the way, Donna finally moved out next to us, and I got to go through Hunter's high school career, and I tried to get him to go to college. We had other things on his mind. So, yeah, I've been a very blessed man. I don't know how else to say it.
You obviously, a lot of people know you from your years of coaching at Christopher. Know you obviously from your daughter playing sports, your son playing sports, your grandsons playing sports, but you've also been in the media a long time. You also, come on now, you had a second career there after coaching. How many years on the radio?
Well, actually, I started writing in 1974.
Oh, wow, writing, there we go.
Yes. The year I coached at McKendree, I met a guy named Joe May, who everybody knows out of Belleville. And then at Christopher, we played in the Freeburg tournament, and Joe May was there taking picture stuff, and I talked to him a little, and he said, yeah, I'm going to start a sports magazine. You don't know anybody down south, do you? And I said, wait a minute. So I started writing for his monthly publication, and then it just continued. I did all those, And then, when you go the other way, I did do some color for different guys on the radio, And, I think we know a little about that togetherness,
We do.
And,
a lot of fun.
And this is the truth, brother. This is the truth. I mean, sometimes you'd be with Carterville, and we'd be talking away, and my partner, who happened to be Travis, would say, I gotta go to the bathroom, take over. And I'm trying to keep stats, and he did. He just got up, and I tried to fill in, and that's sort of how I started doing my play-by-play. But no.
Can I butt in here though and ask
anything you
about
want.
those times that you two were on the radio and my son would go with you? I hear stories now of where you guys had no clue where he was.
We let him do whatever he wanted.
Absolutely.
That's why, if you want to know why he wanted to go to every game, that's why.
He said, Mom, I was always up sitting by myself, walking around the gyms. Seriously, you two.
Well, Carterville wasn't the new gym. It was the old gym.
Yeah,
It
the
wasn't
old
that
gym.
big, But that was it. But, yeah, that's a true story. Okay, getting back, of course, Donna started pitching softball when she was very young and ended up, to try to brag on her real quick, she, I think, was the first female athlete at Christopher to get a full ride scholarship. She got a full ride to Wren Lake, and
Hey,
was
take that.
most valuable pitcher her first 2 years, and then most valuable player in the conference her next 2 years, and had a great career at Wren Lake. Of course, I went to the garage and I found one scrapbook that's she was 7-1 at one time, including at Wren Lake, including beating Wabash Valley, who was #1 in the state that time. And the only game she lost, she had like a 5-3 lead going into the 6th, and then they had a couple errors. She gave it up. So, pretty proud of that. You know. So she and this was besides cheering and theatrics and everything else along the way, and.
His philosophy, though, of coaching is very simple. He just said throw strikes and hit the ball hard.
Yes.
So I'm being serious.
What
That
else
was
is
it.
there?
I mean,
What else
really.
is there?
Yeah.
So a couple years ago, I was coaching, and I really, said, hit the ball hard, throw strikes. And the pitchers were like, well, what kind of pitches do you want me to throw? Strikes.
Yeah.
And the girls were like,
What else is there?
You want me to bunt? You want me to do this? I was like, get on base.
Yeah.
I was very simple.
I like it.
Yeah.
We won
Keep
a
it
few
simple.
games.
And I think we got
Yeah.
state. You got state a couple times in junior high coaching, but it was really good. And then when Hunter come along, he had this Wheeler name that he'll probably tell you wasn't all real good at sometimes. But the thing about him, looking back, he won the Max McDonald Senior Award, which is I think the most prestigious awards at Christopher. And him and TJ in 8 years of the turkey tournament, they were most valuable player 5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
He was
those
actually the
8
answer to one of our
He
questions.
was one of our trivia questions
Yeah,
the other
and
day.
then
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
and then the other thing was, of course, they made the all-tournament team 7 times. So they had a good career. But I think the couple things that stood out in my mind was he hit a 50-footer to beat Goreville and Todd Tripp at Goreville.
What grade were you, Hunter, when you did that?
Senior year?
I
Senior
think
year.
that was the senior year. And that was one of his best feats because Goreville fans really gave him a lot of trouble. And of course, Todd's one of our best friends now, and et cetera. So the other thing that I remember about Hunter, guys, was Coach Townsend at Fairfield. I found a note clipping that said at senior year he thought he was the best athlete in the Black Diamond. So when it comes to somebody, and on, he was first team all conference 2 years, and I don't know if they won 1 or 2 games both years. So it was, he had a pretty good career. The big thing, now that we're talking, and we are talking, I was thinking when you were talking to Bobby Blondi a while ago, what a great slow pitch player would he have been, and he never had that opportunity with his speed and strength and his grittiness, and same fast pitch, because he get around the bases. He was most valuable basketball player a couple of years, most valuable football player, most valuable in track 2 or 3 years because he went to state twice. My biggest thrill was when he finally decided to play baseball, and he helped Coach Kirkpatrick win the first regional in baseball history at Ziegler.
Really?
And I will back it up. I'm supposed to talk a lot, aren't I? And I will back it up because January of his senior year, we played at Camden, and don't ask me why he was going for a rebound. He came down and broke his ankle, but we didn't know it, and he wouldn't let us go to the doctor. So he played the rest of the basketball season, and finally, he played 1 baseball game, and his mom said, I think he better has it checked, and we found it was broke. So when he came back, they won 14 out of 15 games. And I'm not saying, it's just he was sort of a spark plug, sort of like his grandpa was, I guess.
Yeah. Donna, let me ask you this. Growing up with the Wheeler last name, tell me about how that is, how it's been.
Well, maybe growing up as the older I've gotten, the name has meant more to me.
Sure.
TJ was 4 years younger than me, so I was in college than when he was in high school. So I do remember coming home to those Cesar Christopher games when the gym was packed. That was pretty exciting. I think it was the excitement of a small town. That's how it was when he was in school. And then Hunter's junior and senior year, they had a lot of success. And me teaching at the elementary school, it was kind of fun seeing those younger kids, in the front row. And, oh, Miss Wheeler, your son's Hunter, how exciting that was. So, yeah. And then just being the sister of TJ at the University of Illinois, I have to say that was some of the greatest memories. Playing in Assembly Hall with Lou Henson and those were memorable. Yeah, those were pretty great.
The thing about, let me interrupt what's on my mind. The thing that made it good about TJ was I coached at Wren Lake with Mitch Haskins. And TJ was always on the back of the bus with the brothers. So when he got to Illinois, the brothers. So when he got to the back of the bus, when he got to Illinois, he saw no color.
That's great.
And he said a lot of times there would be some of those guys come in, And I think that I give Mitch Haskins credit for that, breaking him in. And he also, I don't know if I should say it even, but when he was 7th and 8th grader and 9th grade, he used to scrimmage with Wren Lake. And he made a pass one night, and John Fisher, Steve Fisher's brother, who was an assistant with us, he said, "That's the best pass I've ever seen anybody make." And I thought to myself, well, TJ don't make a lot of passes, and down at the grade school, so yeah.
Well,
okay, go on.
Steve Fisher, if you don't know who Steve Fisher is, you got to realize these guys, Doc Young.
Here we go.
Think about it. They're 18, 19 years old.
I never thought of that.
Steve Fisher. Tell them who Steve Fisher was.
I think you might have heard of the Fab Five.
You ever heard of the Fab Five?
That was his coach.
He coached them. He's from Heron, Illinois.
My goodness.
Coached the Fab Five, which, obviously, and bring it all full circle, TJ guarded
all of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
And when TJ was in Illinois, they played against Michigan, which was, it seemed like TJ usually would get Jalen Rose, right? Didn't he? Jimmy King, Jalen Rose?
Is Jalen Rose the one that cussed you? One of the
No,
That was Jawan. That was Jawan Howard.
Jawan
Jawan Howard cussed my mom
man.
out.
Jawan.
Yeah.
Linda.
We're at Prairie State, and John Howard's 4 rows down or something there was in front of them, and TJ's, and John Howard used a GD name that I probably shouldn't even saying, but he 3 or 4 times, and knucklehead back there said, "Hey, young man, you shouldn't really be using that language around all of us." And he turned around, and I thought, the way the story goes, he started to get up and say something to her. Craig McDonald was sitting with her, Max's son. Craig, who was a U of I grad and worked there. And he stood up and said, "Just sit down, big guy." and Craig shut her up. But forgot that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, here's my question for Hunter. Hunter, you graduated what year from Christopher?
16.
So you're 9 years.
Yeah.
This will
I'm
be 10
getting
years out of high school.
I'm getting old. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
How was it? Playing. Your mom's a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Your grandpa is a legend.
Mm-hmm.
Your uncle is the greatest player to go through Christopher High School basketball ever.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a blessing or a curse when you're going into high school?
I didn't know anything different. I think people's asked me before, was it like a lot of pressure and stuff? I didn't look at it. I think I put a lot of pressure on myself. I always have done that. So I think it was different around sports because every conversation I had with my grandpa and my uncles, both my uncles, was always basketball. So it was truly a blessing just knowing basketball as well as I did, I guess, at a young age. I was really weird with stats and stuff, and that's from days and weeks spent out him in his garage and him talking to me about who won the 1979 state championship in 2A,
Sure.
Stuff like that. So I think it was a blessing.
Oh, definitely a blessing. And if the people that don't know, Connor would be your
Cousin.
Connor Wheeler, your cousin.
Yep.
You and Connor are pretty close in age.
He was 5 years older, I
So
think.
he's 5 years
My
older.
7th grade year as a senior, or 8th
And
grade
then,
year.
and then you've got TJ's son, JT. How close are you guys in age?
He's a year younger, but 2 years in school.
So, we're doing this Christmas special. Did you guys ever have some battles growing up when it came around Christmas time with
Yeah,
playing
so-
ball?
Not at Christmas. I think growing up we did. I remember going up to Champaign as like basketball camps in grade school and junior high and stuff like that. And I remember T came one day and he pulled the assistant coach to the side and he said, "I want, my nephew and my son to be on the same team." And I remember he left and that coach pulled us aside and was like, "We're about to scrimmage. You guys are going to be on the same team." I remember me and Jay looking at each other and said, we're about to play each other next game. That's always been the competitive thing of it. And then Connor growing up, him coming back from Logan and playing at Logan for a few years, those summers were great because he'd come to Christopher Gym. At the time, Wendell had a couple more years at DuQuoin and us going to DuQuoin and scrimmaging. So it was always, I don't think me or Connor or JT ever wanted to play with each other. I think we liked playing against each other.
I would say you guys touched on earlier about the kids just being at the game. And I remember Travis, I'm sure he remembers seeing us all there, but future Rangers, we'd all be right down there. The student section would be on the one end, then the little kids student section on this end. And it was just always fun to be there. I think that just adds so much more of an environment to the game. But speaking on your high school days, playing again in the Black Diamond versus the Cessers, the Gorevilles, all those, what was kind of your favorite moments from high school?
I think, the mornings going to Larry's in the mornings, the after the games. I don't know. Grandpa always asked me stuff about games, and I'm like, I don't know if it was just if I got hit too many times in football or something, but I don't remember it. I remember the before the games in the locker room, the after the games, the bus rides home. That's the stuff I remember. So
That's why kids want to play sports.
Yes, no
Small
doubt.
town America,
Yeah.
man, is the
yeah.
the camaraderie. Those become your brothers for life,
Yeah.
man. Or your sisters for life, right?
Right.
Yep.
Well, when we go out into the community, and Dad started something called Little Wills.
Oh,
He
I'm glad you brought it up.
will say, yeah, he was one of my Little Wills, and that guy's 40 or 50 years old now, So.
Donna, explain to the person watching this on our YouTube channel or listen on Spotify or wherever they're at. If they're on Truth Social, I don't know what they're on. I'm smart aleck all the time. But explain. We never know what they're watching us on. It might be, who knows. Explain to people what Little Wheels was.
Well, can I just hand it to my dad since my dad's the one that started it? Although there was a couple of years where we had a cheer with Wills, and upstairs we did a cheer with Wills. Yes. Yeah.
I hope you ran that.
I did. My son and we have conversations because he doesn't think cheerleading is a sport, but I was cheerleading. So I'm just saying I had a cheer with Wills upstairs as Dad had a Little Wills down for the, yep.
Well, actually, I guess it all started when I was my 11 or 12 years there, head coach at Christopher. We had a summer camp, and that was Hoop with Wheels. And I remember, like this, we would go from 8 to 12, Monday through Saturday, for 2 solid weeks. And it would cost you $25. You got a basketball, a T-shirt, and sweatbands. And I had kids from,
Ooh, loved
I had
the
kids
sweatbands.
from I had Rich Yunka speaking. I had them from everywhere. The greatest was when Bruce Baker spoke, and we had a portable floor back then. It was 2.5 inches tall. Us, Illinois, Chicago Bulls was the only people that had this portable floor. Well, they'd taken the floor up right before camp, which was first week in June, but they haven't lowered all the baskets yet. So it was 2.5 inches taller, and the kids would always say, "Dunk it, coach, make them dunk it." Say, "Bruce, can you dunk it?" So he went up and just barely put it down. He said, "I don't know what's wrong." So he went up and he said, "I'll get it good this time." He just barely put it down, and then I finally had to tell him. But anyway, then after I got out of coaching, we started this Little Wheels at Gary and Anna's Acrobat building. And we had baskets 6, 7, 8, and 9. We had 4, and it was from kindergarten through 6th grade. And we had kids come from everywhere to play. And it was, they learned how to say, "Love it, love it, love it." And Little Wheels was really popular. And then we would play tournaments on weekends and bring people in from every place. So it was, I guess, looking back now, I really got to know a lot of kids through my camp. And then of course, 31 years down at SIU camp. Can I tell a camp story at SIU?
Please.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
so we have some of these ex-Benton students that are refereeing and helping. We have this one referee, he's helping, but then it's 13 through the ball and over to 44, nice shot by 44, and I'm yelling, "Travis, you're refereeing, you're not calling the game." And this is the truth, brother, this is the truth. He's out there in the middle of the floor, so the thing, in case you haven't learned, Travis likes to talk.
I've learned that a little bit with him being on your last couple months.
Russell asked 3 questions. I asked 406 questions.
Yeah.
But it was, but anyway, that's sort of the Little Wheels in the basketball camp and things. And I I was lucky because TJ would come home in the summer and talk to the Little Wheels. I would go to an Illinois game and they were giving these, what do you call it, with the faces on the stick? You know, you've seen, what do you call it?
They're like fathead type things.
Yeah. Well, the one
Whatever
night
they were called
they
back
did
then.
it for Lou Henson, and I ran around and picked up 73 of them. So every Little Wheel that Friday got it. I had Marcus Timmons, he come and spoke. Paul Lusk come and spoke.
Wow.
And these guys, I'll be honest, I didn't give them nothing. You know, they're TJ's buddies. It's kind of, but looking back, and then you.
For the coach, let me ask you this: for the people that maybe don't know, I know this stuff because I've been around you guys forever. What years was TJ at Illinois?
I was 1994. Graduated in
1990 to 94.
That's great college basketball time.
Great college basketball time. I mean, I know this will get you choked up probably, but you know, a kid from Buckner, Illinois, playing in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I love the story you told me the other day about. I mean, when I think of TJ, because I'm class of '96, so he came back and like spoke at one of our basketball banquets and things, and we were all like, you know, thought it was the greatest thing ever. He was a man.
But didn't he scrimmage with us once when you were a sophomore?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
He come and scrimmage. And
I mean,
and that was a good thing about T. I mean, when he was 9 and 10, I was taking him to camps and making him do things. And every now and then, some kid would want to go, well, let me go one-on-one. When T was like 11, this is a junior at McLeansburg, I'll never forget, so I'm not going to mention his name. And afterward, T said, why did you let him do that to me, Dad? I said, well, you know, it's good for you. So we got.
What did he average a game in high school? What was it, Donna? Come on.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, it was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah,
There's a lot to.
I think 33, 34.
33 or 34 a game.
Senior year, and then.
And there's like 4 guys guarding him because the other
like
team knew that.
30 or 31 his sophomore year. He led the Southern
30 or
Illinois
31 as a sophomore.
in his sophomore and his, and he,
What do you finish with career points?
25-28, 2,528, which wasn't bad because we didn't play, you know, of course, as many as they do now. We only played 2 tournaments and stuff like that.
Sure.
He got undercut on a Friday night, and we had to take him to Heron Hospital in the ambulance. And on Sunday, they had one of those, this would be his senior year, one of those, remember, they used to have shootouts now at SIU. You get 4 or 5 different games, nothing but high school kids. And after they took his x-rays and everything, brought him out, I asked this guy, I said, I hate to ask you this, but you think he'll be able to play Sunday? And he told me, he said, Dad, you better hope he can walk on Sunday. He's got one vertebrae really, really bad. And I just, you know, put in perspective, what does basketball mean? And so, of course, he didn't get to play. But it was really good. Not good, it was really odd that you got me talking. Because Dick Nagy, Scott Nagy at Southern, you know, his dad was the guy that recruited TJ. Well, he come down to watch him.
That.
Oh,
you
you
never
didn't
told
know?
me that.
Oh, God, yeah. So Dick come down to watch him play that Sunday because, you know, we didn't know when he was coming. And, of course, he didn't, you know, didn't even dress. And but Dick went out and ate with us afterwards. And that.
Is he still living?
No.
No.
All the Coach Collins, I think Coach Coombs is the only one living that he had. And the Dick Nagy stories and his college coaches, that could be probably another whole podcast because he really grew up quick up there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it's completely different from Christopher to Champaign, but we talked a lot about basketball already and I'm sure we go into way more stories, but we know that Christmas is a big deal for a lot of families. We can tell because you got the Christmas hat on over there. But what's Christmas mean to your guys' family?
Okay, so he won't be able to talk because he'll break down.
Yeah,
So-
I like the Jesus King type shirt you got wearing. I like that.
I brought a little Jesus in.
I love it.
I mean, I got to bring Jesus in. Family's one of the most important things for us. And Christmas, though, when your family is not all together all the time, it becomes different. And this past weekend, my brother and his whole family and kids and grandkids all came home, and it was probably one of the most beautiful weekends we'd had in a very long time.
17 of them.
17 of us,
Hope you took a picture.
a few.
Yeah.
But yeah, family's very important. And probably You know, we wouldn't have been able to go through and without family. You know, we have a great family tree of athletes. If my dad could ever, like, but I'm talking like on my mom's side, on my dad's side.
Is that the Hoagland side?
The Hoagland side. I mean, Mike Chamness, you guys had him
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
couch? That's a little cousin of mine.
Mike
Wow.
and Mark.
Mike
Oh,
and
I
Mark.
forget the Chamblises. That's
Yep.
right. Okay,
And then
so what's the connection?
Keller's, the Alleys.
Jake and
Josh Alley?
Do you know
Josh
that
Alley.
name at all?
Yeah.
Jake and Josh Alley.
You know,
Those are cousins.
Tennessee.
Josh Alley, I know.
Jake played at Tennessee. Josh played at SIU.
No, other way.
Other way.
Yep,
One of them
other
went
way.
to tremendous baseball player. Great high school basketball players too, but tremendous college baseball
Yeah,
players.
that's what I heard.
And I might add, the Chamnesses and Josh Alley were little wheels.
Really?
Yeah. And every time I blew the whistle, and man, you had to put the ball down, hands on knees, ball went down, Mike Chamness would cry. First couple of weeks, yeah, I wish I'd known you were on, we'd throw that at him. But,
Should have asked him.
Should have asked him that.
but it just,
Yeah.
you know, you go, when I started dating,
I forget you guys are all related.
yeah, I started dating Linda, you know, and she'd say, well, we always go to Anna on Sundays and to meet all the Hoaglands.
She's the boss.
She said, I'd like for you to come. And I said, oh, yeah, that's just what I want to do. You know. Her dad was a truck driver, you know. Me and him had a lot in common, you know. So anyway, we go down to Anna, and the next thing I know, we did have a nice meal, and then somebody said, hurry up, let's go. And I'm saying, what's going on? They had a basketball goal in the backyard. And Uncle Jim, Jimmy's dad, and he played. And man, and one of the cousins, Robin Dotson, he played in wingtips just so he could kick you and step on your feet. But man, I couldn't wait till next Sunday. I'm wearing tennis shoes because I know where we're going. So I think these kids, our kids and grandkids, gets a lot of that from Linda's side of the family too. Because we went to Florida and came back by in Georgia, and Tennessee was playing in the baseball tournament, and somehow TJ knew what was going on. We got to go watch Josh Alley in Tennessee play in Georgia in a tournament. And I just, for no country boy like me, that's quite an experience.
How about faith? This is balling for God. I'm always impressed. I mean, coming up after you is going to be Bob Pankey. Bob, just left his job as the FCA director for the whole state of Illinois. He's getting ready to become the lead pastor where I go to church. Out at Whittington, because Mark Miner is he really retiring, Bob, or is he? Non-retirement. But Russell started this because, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to team up with him. He loves the Lord and he loves sports. And if I could throw in one more thing, I love food, but we don't talk food enough. But
You guys need to have like a cooking show.
We need to
You
have
could,
a
like,
cooking
You could like cook and talk about sports.
yes.
Yes.
If you want to start it, we can.
We can. I mean, Lord knows, look at me, I can eat, that's for sure. I know, and I don't want to choke you up again, but the three of you guys maybe touch on where faith kind of comes into play with everything for the Wheelers.
Well, the thing, but for Tommy D, my granddad was a Baptist preacher. And so I can remember being 3 or 4, and that's when they rotated around, And I remember he went preach down at Shawneetown once, and of course that you didn't get paid, you got fed, and they had noodles. And I was telling my mom about it later, and I got home. She said, what kind of noodles you had? And I said, well, the Shawneetown noodles. So from that day on, it was Shawneetown noodles. And Grandma Pearl used to tell me that a lot of times after the service, when Grandma Dewey was outside shaking hands, I was right there too. Yes, I'm a good Baptist, And I was only like 3, 4, 5 years old. So it's been inbred in us. And I think for a long time, to be blunt, I thought I was too busy. And then a couple of things happened, and I had to turn to him. And when I turned to him, and then, I'll be honest, I got in trouble when I was coaching at Christopher because I didn't demand it, but I asked the kids to go to church with me one Sunday a year, And that was always right before the turkey tournament. And then after church, we would have practice at 2 o'clock, and then at 4 o'clock, we'd go out to the house and eat. And then when I got baptized, there was no doubt what my pregame and how I tried tried to act, halfway decent and everything. And I think through that time is when Donna grew up in it. Right?
Yes. Yes, so I would love to write a book. As of May 29th, I retired from 32 years of teaching. So I am on my retirement, but I would tour, yes. I would love to write a book about, and it would be titled God, Hunter, and Me, because 28 years ago, God gave me my greatest gift when he gave me my son. And as a single mother for all those years, I would have never been able to be the mom that I'm supposed to be without God. So I'd love to write a book about sitting in the stands. I love to people watch. And I think all those years of being like a coach's kid, I watched so many like fans and like the mothers. Like when I walked into a gym, although we do look a little different, I didn't want them to be like, oh, that's Hunter's mom, because I can hear her in the stands. I literally would sit in the corner and not say a word the entire game because I didn't want somebody to be like, oh, that's Hunter's mom. I want them to be like, oh, that's Hunter Wheeler's mom. Wanted to, maybe to see a little Jesus in me up in the stands, but yeah.
You definitely got that from your mother.
Okay, no, Travis. Now I'm telling you on that one. Okay, somebody could be like, Linda, you've gone to so many games. I bet you could coach. No, Travis. She was the type.
She don't know what a free throw is.
She don't know what a free throw is because TJ and TJ never fouled. But TJ never fouled.
That's a mom.
Right, but she really wanted to look into the crowd on the other side and be like,
true.
who's yelling at my baby?
This is true.
She would be like, why are you? I mean, she would look in the crowd to see who was saying something against TJ.
Yeah.
It got worse when it was Hunter.
Oh.
She would be like, did you see those people? They were talking about my grandson. I'd be like, Mom, I was trying to watch the game. Well, I wasn't, Donna.
She don't watch the game at all.
She don't watch the game at all. She watches other people. Yeah.
Sometimes more entertaining that way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 Hunter, you want to chime in here?
Faith.
Yeah.
Always grew up in a church. Obviously, I think it was not really said, and Mom might get mad at me for saying it, but I think it was one of them going to church on Sundays. If you didn't go to church, you're not really eating. You're not eating lunch, So growing up like that, but I think Mom is, there's times that you grow up and in your teenage years you question faith.
Sure.
You question your faith. My mom was the best at asking her questions about faith, and she was the smartest. She still is the smartest person I know about faith. She never said, you got to do this, you got to do this when it comes to religion. She kind of told me, you'll find your faith on your own, but you got to go to church every Sunday and you got to learn it. And I think that was the best way I was kind of brought up. And, Grandpa was kind of the same way with me, and so was Grandma, about just going to church and learning everything about you need to know about church stuff. But it was pretty much you go to church on Sundays or you're not eating Sunday lunch.
Well, you know this much, and Bob's obviously a preacher going to come on here next, but you can't force it to somebody. You can take them. I mean, we're supposed to lay the groundwork. I have 2 kids of my own, and Lord knows I screw up constantly. But our job as parents, grandparents, all the above is to try to raise children. But if you force it towards someone, they're going to reject and go the other way as fast as they can. But having you there and learning, and then ultimately it's on all of us to how we take that and what we do with that in our life.
So that's the best example. I don't know how long ago it was when we went to church out by the ballpark, and I was actually the substitute preacher. And I actually did 6 or 8 sermons over the 2 or 3 years we were there. But it's like, it's what leading us into. Mike Root had me speak to the football team one night, and I was probably more honest with that group of kids about my faith than I ever been. I just said, I usually back here I'll pray to God, give me strength to talk to these guys, but I'm going to just preach out loud. And I talk to them about things like we were just talking about. It's not the wins and the losses. It's something bad happens. Your best friend comes and puts his arm around you. That's the things you never forget. But that's also the things that God leads you into, and I believe that. I believe every situation that you're in, God has put you there. And he's also saying, now, what do you think I would do? And like I said, I had my players come to church with me, and I think it was a big deal. It was for me. The night I got baptized, I had 4 of my players there. Yeah.
Russ, any last things for the Wheelers here?
We've talked a lot about basketball, taught faith, but now that it's Christmas time, what's kind of the plans now? You said you had some family come in this past week, but what's kind of the plans now that we're in full swing here?
Well, like Donna said, TJ brought 17 of his family down.
Wow.
And it was unbelievable. We spent Friday night with them and all day Saturday, and then they came back by Sunday morning. So in our little group, thank God Hunter's got this beautiful young lady named Bailey hanging out with him. And so we're going to have maybe 5 or 6 people for Christmas.
So our family's kind of gotten a little smaller, Russell. People have met Jesus, before us. And they're not with us. But I said we have to embrace change.
Yeah.
And family is family.
Yeah.
Travis, talking about food, Hunter and I can't wait. It's called banya. It is an Italian thing. We're having
We'll have to
banya.
ask Grandma that.
Yeah.
It'll be coming through your pores.
Yes.
Smell the garlic,
Yes,
right?
and the whole house smells like it. But yeah, that's our big. Food is pretty important to us.
love
We do
food.
finger foods. We
Yeah.
do a lot of finger foods all day. We play
quick
some
and easy.
games.
So that's quick and easy.
Quick and
Yeah.
easy. You can just eat what you want. We play some dominoes. We play some card games. We got a new one. Grab the mic. I don't know. It's a new. We've not played it. Yeah.
But let me interrupt because we've told you about how big the Hoagland family is, or Linda's family is, and they're the same way. They've grown and got kids all over the place. So we actually have Christmas in July at one of the cousins'
Really? In
swimming
Anna?
pool. No, it's outside of,
It's right outside of Walker's Bluff. Like,
outside
nice.
of Walker's Bluff, down that area, and it's a beautiful pool. And at that time of year, most of them can get back
Sure.
and bring their kids and grandkids and everything else we've seen.
I know this much, and I'll let you guys get going here because you and I could talk for 26 hours. I know, and I'm going to leave you with this, how important family is to you and how proud you are of these two, of T, of your brothers, of your family, how I don't usually get emotional on the show, but he's like a second dad to me. Kind of the story you've told me about, your parents didn't have it easy, man. And your brothers all went to different high schools. Your dad was, moved houses.
Yes.
You've had a great life, my friend, and you've got a lot left in you. And I'm glad you came on here with us, and it means a lot to me.
Not as much as it does to us because, like I said, if you got a couple more hours, we can go to the garage and really come up with some stuff. And I'm inviting you out there because you would like the garage.
Yeah, I've heard about it quite a bit from Darren. I watched, I think he used to have a segment with one of his old things, and he had a segment with the garage, and I would love to. It looks awesome.
How many years of history in that garage, Coach?
Well, it goes back to the 50s.
Wow.
The 50s, before Sloan and Reed played. I mean, I've got clippings back of back then, and it's really odd. I know we're running late here, but my best story about the garage was on December the 2nd, which was my wedding anniversary, but it didn't matter to Jimmy Dean. I'm sure you met Jimmy Dean. He had 2 judges that had to come that day.
2 judges.
2 judges because they moved their court appearances around. Judge Vaughn from McLeansboro and Judge Foster from Ridgeway, and actually worked. And Judge Foster comes in with his shirt and tie and everything. That's the day we had 8 inches of snow too. Oh yeah. And I said, "Jimmy, it's going to be cold." I said, "That's okay, we'll." And they stayed for about 2 hours.
Wow.
Last question: Who's the best? I mean, you can ask more. Who's the best sophomore basketball player? 1990, 93, 94 Rangers. 93, 94 Rangers. I know it's not me because I was like the 12th guy on the roster, but who's the 90? He was my sophomore basketball coach. 1993, 94 Benton Rangers. Who is it?
Sometimes at my old age I just forget. I think. Hey, I can tell you who it wasn't, but I'm not going to mention his name.
Oh, we had a lot of fun.
Yes, we did.
We had a lot of fun.
And that's what life's about.
Yeah.
It really is, you know, if you can, and usually if you're decent with a man upstairs, he'll get you in a situation, and then you have to be big enough to say, hey, you know, I just hung out with these guys out at some cabin someplace out here by Wren Lake, and we could have talked for 9 or 10 hours and probably not told the same story twice. But I do want to tell you this. It's a great idea, and we Wheelers, without a doubt, appreciate it. Because when you get old, as Bobby said a while ago, you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Hey, a few months ago, we couldn't do this show. You know, a few months ago, we couldn't do this show.
Yeah.
Lord's brought you through a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about that. So.
Well, I got one more question. It's about the garage. I'm sure we could ask a lot of questions about the garage, but I just want to know, where did it kind of all start with the garage? What kind of got you going with that?
Okay, when I graduated in high school in '62, and
Oh, that's 100 years ago.
yeah, and I was lucky enough to Carl Mock, Jerry Sloan, David Lee.
Wow.
Do you know these names?
Yeah, I know
Yes.
Jerry
He went to
Sloan.
high school with these guys.
Even these names, you know. Well, my mom would keep scrapbooks because until we moved back to McLeansboro, I'd never seen my name in the paper, and I actually seen it. So she gave me a scrapbook, and I had it at McHenry, and when I got out of there, I realized she was buying the St. Louis Globe, which covered McHenry little. I got another scrapbook. And then I think, I don't know if me and Lynn was married yet. It might be in my first year or second year. And Coach Carnes, Bob Carnes at DuQuoin, got a speeding ticket in the Southern. Well, back then you lived and died with a Southern, and I cut this out. And I said, I'm just going to start clippings.
Oh, wow.
So I started clippings of people that I knew or kids that I'd coached. And the next thing I knew, I had a bunch, and they were in shelves. And she said, get them out of the shelf. So put them under the beds. And about 3 or 4 months later, she said, get them out from under the bed, do something with them. And I wasn't going to throw them away. So I just cleaned some room out and built me some shelves in the garage. And as they say, the rest is history.
I think it's probably a lot different from now and then, but what I love history, and I love looking back at all that stuff.
Yeah.
All my video, I just archive. And
Yes.
I put in, like, it's Google Drive, unfortunately, is there, and I have a bunch of my old video on Google Drive and stuff like that. But I also like to keep all the programs from every game I go to.
I got more than you do.
I'm sure you do. But
I do.
yeah.
I got a whole filing cabinet
Yeah.
of things from New Athens and
Wow.
Denver, Colorado. And
That would be awesome.
And I mean, Jimmy Dean, him and this governor, or the Vaughn guy, every place they go now, they have to pick up an extra program, and Jimmy will bring it by and leave it on my front.
I make sure to pick one up every gym I go in. It's
Yeah, you're definitely welcome. I got a free pass for you too, so.
I appreciate that, and I know you guys are very appreciative of being on here. But I mean, me and Travis are just as appreciative for you to be on here. 'Cause it's a very good family. Obviously, I grew up in Benton, but just a little over Christopher is, and obviously the Wheeler name's a big.
Buckner, not all the way to Christopher.
Well, I know, but they went to
I'm
Christopher High
joking.
School, and hey, you know, Austin's family's kind of leaking over to Christopher.
Really?
Yeah, his sister's moving over there.
It's Doc Young.
Doc Young.
Doc Young over there.
Although
Are
if
are you guys awake?
if you lived in Buckner, you'd be home now. So, I mean, I can't,
That's the famous saying.
it's a famous saying.
Yes. Guys, appreciate it very much.
Okay.
We'll do it again. Thanks for coming on. It means a lot to us. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
From the Ballin' for God guys.
Yes.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you,
a
guys.
lot.
Thank you.
a million.
Right, that's round 2. We'll be back with Bob Pankey here in just a bit.
All right. Now we're on to our third segment. It's third segment of about 20, I think.
20.
Yeah.
17 left.
And it's the Christmas special. We got Bob Pankey on here. I grew up with him being the coach for a couple years of Benton, and then he was big into FCA. So I know him through that, or know of him. I don't really haven't talked to him too much, to be honest. But and then Travis, you obviously know him. I mean, he's involved in your church, so you have to know him.
I know Bob very well, and I'll try not to get emotional with Bob like I did with Coach Wheeler. Tom's like my second father, but yeah, I know Bob really well. We're thankful for Bob to come on, and I know busy schedule, busy time of year. We kind of introduced you there, but kind of tell everybody about yourself.
Yeah, first of all, I'm glad you didn't call me your other second father, because I'm not the one to be your second father, that's for sure. But yeah, Bob Pankey how much you want to know? Right now, we can start wherever you want to start. A lot of people probably know my wife, Candy. She's been a teacher at Benton High School for a long time, and I grew up in Benton. Have lived in Benton almost my entire adult life and raised our family there. And first of all, appreciate you guys having me on. Love what you're doing, and we really want to encourage you in it. And so, very honored to be a part of what you guys have going on here.
Russell's done a great job. You know, Bob, you and I know each other a long, long time. Obviously, you've been a youth pastor. You've been an associate pastor at Whittington Church. You know, part of the reason I'm bringing you on is you're getting ready to take on a new role starting in January, and I'll let you talk a little bit more about that. Hopefully the microphones the whole time don't pick up Dr. Young and Camden over there trying to open bags of donuts.
It's late in the afternoon and it's snack time.
I guess that's all I can hear is these two opening donuts as we're talking. But all kidding aside, I know a lot of people know you were the Benton High School varsity football coach a couple of years. You're a defensive coordinator. You were a youth pastor at Whittington Church. You had a lot of hats. You just stopped being the FCA director for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes for the whole state of Illinois. Here's my thing. You have been around a lot of different aspects of faith and sports, and that's one of the main reasons we wanted to bring you on here. That's one of the main reasons I got involved with Russell, with Bond for God, is I love sports. I love the Lord. It's a great way to have them together. Tim Wills told me after we interviewed him last week, man, he said, Travis, that's awesome. You're talking Christianity and sports. He said, so many people like both those things, but they don't always get put together. Yeah. You just stopped working for FCA, which is all you did.
Yeah. Sports, in my opinion, are a ready-made environment for faith development. Because of the depth of relationships that build throughout, even not just a team, but sports in general. I mean, I just listened to, Coach Wheeler talk about 60 years, 50 years, whatever, of relationships and people and those kind of things. And sports drive relationships. Coaches to athletes, athletes to athletes, coaches to coaches. And for me and from my perspective, that's a ready-made environment to walk beside someone on their faith journey, or help somebody on their faith journey, or be led on your own faith journey. And sports are perfect for that. So I've just been really blessed to have the opportunity to be involved with that process on a number of different levels, as you just said. Not to go all the way back to the beginning of the history of everything, but my wife and I, Candy and I, started attending our church when we were 19 years old. We weren't married yet; we were dating. So it's
like 100 years ago.
Yeah, close. 32 years ago, and then for a period of time, then for a few years after that, stepped into an associate pastor role, and for over 20 years. Was serving as an associate pastor, but the cool part with the sports come in. Of course, I grew up playing sports. My kids played sports. My sons played sports, and along the way, I got a chance to really get to know Jeremy Clodfelder, who was a head football coach at Benton High School for several years, and he and I became good friends. And long story short, I ended up coming on his coaching staff as an assistant coach, and honestly, the first conversation that we had. Was basically Claude coming to me and saying, hey, we just want you around. Like, I want you to be a part of our program. I want you to be around our coaches. I want you to be around our players, have a good influence, all those kind of things. And I said, sure. I mean, I'd love to. Again, I'm looking for opportunities for that to happen, And it's literally the next weekend after he and I had that conversation, the team went to an overnight weekend football camp. I wasn't able to go. It was the weekend after he and I had this conversation. And one of the assistant football coaches, Mark Harbin, passed away at the camp in his sleep.
My neighbor.
And was obviously a huge, challenging thing that players, coaches, everybody went through. Coach Claude calls me on Saturday morning early from Rantoul, Illinois, where they were at camp, and he said, hey, this has just happened. We're on our way home. Can you meet us at the locker room? And I said, absolutely. And so that was actually my first interaction with the team, was them coming back from Rantoul a couple days early and just walking, again, not that I did a whole lot other than just be there with them and be there for them and kind of walk them through that process. So all of that was sort of the beginnings of it, and eventually I stepped into an assistant coaching role with him for several years, and as you said, eventually became the defensive coordinator. And the whole process for me, again, this is kind of back to the sports are a perfect environment for faith development thing. I've always kind of had maybe a little bit of a different approach to calling. I feel like God calls us to things. He certainly does. Place callings on our heart and leads us into things and gives us opportunities and all of that. And I've always kind of felt like my calling was the Great Commission, if you know what I'm talking about. Go and make disciples of all nations. And so my calling has always been help people meet Jesus, help people grow to become more like Jesus, launch people out to disciple other people. That's just kind of always been my calling, and that can happen in a bunch of different environments. And for me, it has happened in a bunch of different environments. And so my calling really hasn't changed, but the assignments have changed through the years. And so for me, coaching high school football was completely and totally an assignment that I believe God gave me, just to be able to walk beside some guys, players and coaches both, in their faith journey. And that's why I coached. And then eventually, as you said, Russell, eventually Coach Claude left. I had an opportunity to go to Paris High School, which is where he's still coaching today. And I had the opportunity to become the head football coach for a couple of years. And so again, it just sort of cemented that opportunity that I felt like I had to be able to try to walk beside some guys in their faith journey. So yeah, that's kind of that's kind of how I kind of got going, and that's even before the FCA days. But got going with ministry and sports and those type of things. I've said this before, I'll say it here as well. In 2 years of coaching high school football, we had a great time, great kids, great seasons, great coaching staff. A lot of those guys are still coaching today on Benton High School's coaching staff. Just thoroughly enjoyed the entire process. But I've said before, I'll say it again, maybe the most impactful thing I've been a part of. And again, 25 years of being a pastor and, all these things I've done spiritually, church ministry and all of that. For the 2 years I was a head coach, we assembled a leadership team of players. And every Thursday morning, at that time, the Cozy Table restaurant used to open at 6 a.m. Now it opens at 7. I don't think you can get away with it now. But then it opened at 6 a.m. We'd bring that group of guys together. There were 10 or 12 of them. Every single Thursday at 6:30 a.m. for breakfast and quote-unquote leadership training, which was basically a Bible study. And it cost me a fortune because I bought their breakfast. But we did that for 2 full years.
So I'm not the only person that's cost you a fortune.
You've cost me a fortune too, but those guys could eat more than you. 2 full years we brought this group in. Of course, years changed, so some graduated, we brought some new ones in. But every single Thursday morning basically had leadership training out of the Bible. And I didn't force them to come, of course. They all knew what we were doing. Everybody knew I was a pastor when I became a coach, so that wasn't a secret, And I think they enjoyed it. I think I saw them grow and develop as people, in that process. So that's just an example of what I'm talking about, of whatever environment you're in. Sports are a great one to do it, looking for opportunities to try to make some kind of a faith impact in people's lives,
So obviously you said, you were involved with football and in FCA and all that, but where did it kind of start for you in your own personal relationship?
Yeah. Was very blessed to grow up in a Christian home. My parents had me in church probably from, the day I was born. Been in church all my life. And so it was always a part of our family, or a part of my upbringing. As I got to be middle school aged, it became much more personal for me, making a personal decision to commit my life to Christ. And then as I got into high school, I played a lot of sports myself, and as I got into high school, had some opportunities to lead in some ways. We just had started a little bit of FCA. This was back in the late 80s. Okay, so
forever ago.
FCA's been around, actually, ancient, FCA's been around a long time, and we were just starting to get some FCA going at Benton High School at that time, and had the opportunity.
Teachers back then, like who was?
Well, I don't know if anybody knows Coach Mike Shapkoff.
Yeah.
I just saw Coach Shapkoff the other day uptown.
Doing real well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so Coach Shapkoff was one of my assistant football coaches and one of our track coaches, and he was the FCA guy at the time.
That's awesome.
But Coach Moose Phillips, Maurice Phillips was my football coach, varsity years of football, and so. Anyway, just had some opportunities to lead a little bit in some areas or some environments of faith. But never really seriously thought about it as, a quote-unquote calling in life or anything like that. Just kind of had those moments. But honestly, when I met my wife, and again, we were 19 when we started dating. She's from Owensboro, Kentucky. She's not from here. And we both grew up in church, but she grew up in a little bit of a different church background than I did. And I remember, I've told this story to our church before, and hopefully it doesn't get me fired, that I grew up in a different kind of church than she did, and we started dating, we started getting serious, and realized we're going to need to figure out this church thing. And so I went with her to her church back in her hometown, hated it. She went with me to my church in my hometown, which was not Whittington at the time, and she hated it. And so I said, I tell you what, I know of this church out in Whittington where I grew up. I grew up on a farm out there. And here's exactly what I told her. I said, I think you'll really like it, and I think I could tolerate it.
Oh, nice.
And so here we are, 32 years later, I'm still tolerating it. But anyway, when we made that move and kind of did it together, really a lot of growth, spiritual growth, faith development, and all those kind of things really just kind of took off in fast gear for me at that point in time. And so it was just a few years after that I became an associate pastor there and a youth pastor for a long time. And then eventually had the opportunity to get into FCA as a staff person. So I'd love to just tell you that quick story, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
About getting involved with FCA. Again, if anybody's heard of FCA, it's been around a long, long time, 1954. I mean, it's
Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes, nonprofit organization, Christian ministry organization, centered around sports. And most often people think of FCA as the group that they have groups in schools all over the place, junior highs and high schools, FCA groups, but actually it's far broader, a lot broader than that. And so I had been involved with FCA as a volunteer already a little bit, leading FCA at Benton High School for years. Another guy in Southern Illinois that a lot of listeners will know, Roger Leip, who was a longtime FCA staff person.
Nick Hill was on last week. And
Yeah. Coach Hill talked a ton about Roger because Roger was very instrumental in his life for sure. Anyway, I helped Roger out with some events and was on a couple of his boards and things as a volunteer. So long story short, we had just finished the 2017 football season, coaching. Just finished the season. I get a phone call from, at that time, who was the state director for FCA in Illinois. I didn't know him. And he said, hey, you don't know me, I don't know you. Roger Leip gave me your name and phone number and said that you would make a great FCA staff person. Would you ever want to talk about that? And I'm thinking, no, I'm loving life, man. We just finished a pretty good football season. I'm loving what I'm doing. I love pastoring. I love coaching. I love doing all these things. But I kind of thought to myself, I've lived in Southern Illinois all my life. I could probably help him find who he's looking for. He's looking for a staff person, So we meet, we talk, and from the very first time that we met, he starts talking about what I started this interview out with. Leading people to Christ, helping them grow in their relationship with Jesus, and then launching them out to disciple other people. And it just got me super, super excited. I would call it a God thing, like a God moment.
Sure.
And felt like at that time, I realized, okay, this is an assignment that God is putting in front of me that I'm going to have an opportunity to be a part of. And so left coaching totally, because I had to at that time in order to take the role with FCA. Stayed on as a part-time associate pastor at our church, but kind of dropped way down in responsibility and time and all that, and stepped onto the FCA staff. And then over the course of the next 8 years, changed roles several times. I started out as the Southern Illinois area director, so like the southernmost 19 counties. And then after a year, I became the state director for the state of Illinois, which included Chicago. And then 5 years after that, and most recently, the last 3 years, I've been in a regional role, which is 5 states, overseeing the staff of FCA in 5 states. And so loved it, absolutely love FCA. I love what FCA is about. I love the strategy of ministry that FCA uses, very much a discipleship ministry, and I think has a great reputation just about everywhere you go. I mean, people think positively about FCA, and that's always been really, really helpful. So, again, really, really enjoyed my time with FCA. Still, actually, as I transitioned out of my regional role that I just left in order to become the lead pastor at Whittington Church, I stayed on. The new state director in Illinois asked me to stay on his state board, and so I'm still involved at that level with FCA. And again, I can't say enough good things about the ministry of FCA, and I even locally here, FCA is really strong. Lots of high schools, local high schools, junior highs that have really, really solid FCA groups meeting, and that's really, really encouraging to me. So.
Bob, let me ask you this. Obviously, integral part of your life, like I said, your assignment the last 8 years with FCA. I remember when you first were getting on with FCA, meeting with you, and you kind of asking me some questions about things, and Lord knows I've been in sales my whole life, so we were talking about, how to contact people in different ways and different stuff like that. And obviously, the Lord opened a lot of doors for you, starting off in the Southern Illinois role, eventually being in a regional multi-state role. Kind of segue into two things I want to ask you about: faith and family.
Yeah. Well, so I kind of have talked a little bit about my faith background, but, as I said, I've always felt like my calling, and I believe the calling of every Christian, this isn't just Bob, this is any Christ follower. We've all been called to impact the lives of other people for the kingdom. That's not just a pastor thing, that's not just a missionary thing, that's not just a, worship leader thing or Sunday school teacher thing or youth pastor thing or whatever. That's an every believer thing. And I believe that God is going to put opportunities in front of you to be able to share your faith. Now, you may not take advantage of those opportunities. You may walk away from those opportunities, but he's going to put them in front of you. And I believe he equips us and wires us and gives us the tools necessary to be able to just tell our story. Talk about how God has affected our lives and what kind of relationship with Christ we have, or how we got to know Jesus. And you can't go wrong telling your own story, and I think that's the best tool that we have when it comes to sharing our faith. And so, anyway, it's been extremely important to me. It was a huge deal when my wife and I met one another and we started dating. That was a got-to. I'm not going to date or marry someone who's not a Christian, not a Christ follower. And she's been a fantastic pastor's wife and coach's wife and all those kind of things through the years. And so, again, we've raised our family that way, and it just has been a part of life. And it's not always been easy, of course. Faith is not easy, but it's always been a really, really important thing. And so, the family part, I would say, Travis, to maybe kind of answer your question, obviously family's important, but to me, for us anyway, faith has sort of been the thing that holds family together. It's the bedrock or the foundation of everything that we do. And so I can't really think of one without the other, when I think of faith and family. Those two things get put together a lot on the plaques and things you hang on the wall, and, faith, football, and family. I think I had a plaque on my wall forever, FFF, yeah. But it's real, there's a real connection there for sure, so.
Yeah, I think it's definitely. What?
Just messing with you.
So I got thrown into a different world for a second. I know what's going on.
Surely by now you're used to Travis messing with you.
It depends on the week. Sometimes it's a little bit more than 1 week. But like I said, I didn't say this to you, but I played football in high school, and I think that football, faith, family, I think that all mixes well together. Yeah. I think Benton, they've got some good things going right now, especially with Justin Raby being involved with it, Coach Garner being involved with it. But talk about some of the guys in our area that like Brian and Justin Raby, Lipe. Just talk about all those guys that impact our area.
Yeah. So, one of the things officially in my role with FCA, part of what I was responsible for was recruiting and hiring more staff. That was part of what I was supposed to do, which was awesome because that's what I wanted to do anyway. Let's find more people to jump in and be a part of this thing. And so it's one of the things I enjoyed the most about my role with FCA is just connecting. You mentioned this, Travis, connecting with a bunch of people and beginning to kind of walk through, could this person be a staff person actually employed by FCA? And so Roger Lipe was already an FCA staff person when I became a staff person, but he and I still close to this day. We just texted back and forth last week a little bit, actually, and try to connect every once in a while. But he was on staff with FCA for something like 27 years, a long time, and just, again, did an incredible job of laying a huge foundation of ministry across all of Southern Illinois. SIU, but also lots of other, high schools, junior highs, that type of thing. But then along the way, as I moved out of that Southern Illinois director role and into the state director role, so that would have been in 2019, I already knew Brian Lahr, and he and I spent quite a bit of time together. Actually, he was starting to attend our church at that time, and he and his family. And I don't know, I just felt like the Lord kind of put him on my heart. And so he and I started having a conversation about what might it look like, similar to the one that I had, a couple years earlier, that someone had with me, I should say. What might it look like to come on staff with FCA? And without going into all the details, probably a year later, he stepped into that Southern Illinois area director role. So that's what Brian Lahr is currently doing for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. He's overseeing, I think it's now, we've whittled it down a little bit to like 12 or 13 counties, but doing a fantastic job, Brian is. Along the way, had an opportunity to hire Justin Raby as an area rep. If anybody knows Justin Raby, was a great athlete at Benton High School. You'll see his 4-foot-tall picture hanging on the wall in the gymnasium at Rich Aaron Gym for winning a state title in the hurdles when he was in high school, but he was also a really good basketball player. And but more importantly than that, he really loves Jesus and he really loves discipleship. And so anyway, Justin was on staff with FCA for a couple years, and he has transitioned off staff, but still very involved in the ministry. Another guy that some listeners may know up in Mount Vernon, his name is Britt Fullerton, and had an opportunity to hire Britt a few years ago as an area rep, and he's kind of that Centralia, Mount Vernon area up there. And he's still on staff and doing a great job as well. And so, but really the bedrock of FCA is not hired staff. The bedrock of FCA are coaches who love Jesus, like Coach Hill, like a lot of other coaches and around our area. And if you have
getting comfortable over here.
I can see that. You're going to be snoozing here, but you have to wake him up in a minute.
Over here.
Yeah. Yeah, so
hey, we were 3 hours in, Coach. I'm getting comfy.
Absolutely. And you got the Cheez-Its and a
It's
drink.
unreal.
And yeah, you'll be snoozing here in a minute.
No, I'm all right.
Afternoon nap.
Well, I'll say this much, and I text you when it was over with, and Coach Brown might be falling asleep back there. I'm just messing with him back there. Dave, you back there? Dave's back there. I told this to Nick, and Lord knows he'll probably text me after I say this or something, but I said, buddy, they can fire you tomorrow. You might just need to be an evangelist. And I'm not joking, man. His interview, I mean, sometimes coaches dabble around with stuff. I mean, he went like full in, like, wow.
Yeah, he's the real deal.
Holy moly. Honestly, I knew a little bit from talking to Raby and talking to different people over the years. And my dad had him speak at something. I can't remember how many months ago it was. And my dad's like, Travis, it was like, I thought I went to we were going to have an altar call and take an offering.
Yeah, absolutely.
His segment was about 45 minutes long, and I think we talked football for maybe 5 minutes at max.
Yeah.
And
we let him talk about whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you guys, and I've watched part of it. It's awesome. I love the interview. But you get his heart. His heart is certainly football, win games, teach football, all those kind of things. But his heart is young men.
Yes.
And helping young men find Jesus, helping young men grow in Jesus, find purpose in their lives. I mean, those are eternal things
for sure
that are going to last a whole lot longer than a football season or football career.
Just take a walk up in their football office. I mean, they got a lot of they got this screen in there, and it's down by his office, and it's just a ticker, and it has a lot of quotes and then a bunch of verses as well. And then we talked to one of his players a couple weeks before that, and they talked about all the study groups that they have there, and he clearly has a heart for it. And he just pours so much into it. I mean, that's all that God asked for us to do, and he's definitely doing it.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw back in the fall, like when their season first started, a bunch of them got T-shirts. Did you see this on social media?
Yeah.
They said King Jesus or Trust Jesus. I forgot exactly what they said.
Jesus is King.
Jesus is King. There it is. Yeah, Jesus is King. Some of them started wearing them, and then pictures. That's what they would wear like to show up to games.
Yeah.
Then do their pregame stuff, chapel, and all that stuff. And then Coach Hill told them I think they were at an away game. If I got the story straight from Justin Raby, that they were at an away game, maybe South Dakota State or something like that, North Dakota State. And he said, hey, if anybody else wants a Jesus King shirt, I'll just buy them for whoever wants them. Coach Hill said this.
Yeah.
And they ended up ordering like 90-something shirts, so you can do the math. There's, 105, 110 on the roster, So, you got the majority of the roster of SIU football that are, wearing Jesus King shirts.
I thought the coolest thing that he said last week, and I'll let you touch on this, and he said, Travis, not all my players believe in God.
Right.
I mean, I have Muslims on my team. I have guys that don't believe in any of this stuff. He said, but me as a Christian, my role is to treat people all right.
Yeah.
And treat people all the same. And if they take something from that and they want to ask me questions or they whatever, but, he said some people are like, oh, how do you deal with, he's like, what do you mean, how do I deal with things? I treat everybody the same. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be a man, living the right way, and that's what anybody should be trying to do.
If you think about it, what's going to draw people to Christ is genuineness, being loving, being fair, being gracious. I mean, basically, the fruit of the Spirit. You know, the taking on the nature of Jesus. That's what's going to draw people to Jesus. It's not confrontation and shoving stuff in people's faces.
No,
you know?
no,
And
that's-
so yeah, what he's doing is just living a Christian life the way that God wants you to. You know, and it's going to draw people in.
Russ wants to ask you one last question about Christmas, Russ.
Yes, about Christmas. We ask all of our guests this week what's it Christmas means to them and their family, and what's that kind of mean to you guys?
Well, again, back to the family thing. We have a big family.
You have 3 kids.
I have 3 kids. Yeah, my oldest son Ben's 27, Blaine's 26. He's married now, so we have a daughter-in-law, Ashley, that's married to Blaine, and then our daughter Callie's 21, and then my sisters have kids, and so it's a big group. And so for a long time now, probably 15 years, we've been doing a big, huge family Christmas at my parents' house. Everybody comes. It's mass chaos. It's all day long. It's games and gifts and food, and back to the games again, and then back to the food again, and all that kind of thing. So this is the deal, though. This year's a little different. We have convinced my parents. They have never been on a cruise before.
Oh, that's what they told me last week.
And so we convinced, I love going on cruises.
You're going on a cruise for Christmas?
I love going on cruises. And so we convinced them that, hey, instead of doing a big Christmas gathering this year, instead of buying stuff, let's have an experience together. Get the family together.
Let's go to Tahiti together.
So we're leaving on Christmas Eve. We're getting on a boat. We're going to...
Like a John boat?
A little bit bigger than a John boat. Sail to the Bahamas. We're going to hang around for a few days. And we're going to come back on New Year's Eve. So we're going to be gone for several days. And the whole crew's going.
Give
There's
your
20
guys'
of us.
addresses on here so everybody knows where you're going to be gone. So we can
Absolutely.
Are you guys leaving somebody back for Home Alone, or?
We do have people like house sitting, so that's the thing. But I did joke around today. So my dad loves to fish, and we may get kicked off the boat and sent home early or something because he said, "Can we not fish off the side of the boat?" I'm like, "Dad, you don't understand.
Fish off the side of the boat.
It's a big boat. You're out in the middle of the ocean. You're like 4 stories up. I mean, he'll enjoy it once he gets there, but he just doesn't know what to expect.
There's not going to be crappie or bluegill.
No, not in the Atlantic. There's not, or the Caribbean. So. Anyway, we're looking forward to Christmas this year for that reason, because it'll be a little bit different.
All kidding aside, I appreciate you coming out today, but you've been very instrumental for me in my life, and I'm not just saying that because you're on here with us. We're not, obviously, we know we can't pay you. I did offer you some donuts, but I appreciate everything you've meant for me and my family, and I'm excited for your new role. Mark Miner's been a pastor for a long time.
Yeah, 47 years.
Mark's done an amazing job.
Years.
I know he's not stepping away completely.
Yeah.
Mark, obviously, school board president of Benton High School. Very integral part of a lot of people in this area. He loves sports. He loves faith. But congratulations on the new gig, man.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. I will say real quickly, Mark has been a huge friend, mentor, leader for me. Again, 32 years that we've been at Whittington, and so it's pretty unheard of for a pastor to be somewhere for 47 years. That's just completely unique, and God's used him in awesome ways, and I'm extremely humbled, but excited about. He's, again, as you said, he's not leaving totally. He's not retiring. He's going to be in a part-time role at the
He's
church.
never going away.
No, we don't want him to. But I'm excited about the transition, excited about what's coming. So I appreciate it. Like I said, I really appreciate you guys having me on. I appreciate what you're doing with the podcast and with all the things that you're doing social media-wise and stuff. And we just want to encourage you in it for sure.
Hey, I say this every week, but I mean, I get the fun part. I get to do the show with him and all that stuff. But Russ does all the hard work. I mean, all these games and stuff that he goes and shoots, and it's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate we get to come on here and talk, and hopefully Pittsburgh misses that field goal. Did he make it?
You want Pittsburgh to lose?
No, I'm a Bears fan. I need Detroit to lose. Let's go Steelers!
So just to be clear, I totally,
Steelers!
I totally would believe the fact that you're not doing the hard work, that Russell's doing.
Russell's doing all the hard work.
believe that.
All I do is show up, eat snacks, and talk a little bit.
Yeah, which is what you do best.
Yeah, I mean, Dr. Young over there, in Camden, we're trying to find them dates, and then Camden, come on now, Camden.
Can't forget Russell was looking for one too.
I know we're gonna.
No.
That will be one of our new segments coming up in the new year, 2026.
Maybe
Yeah.
you could do like a dating game thing.
Yes,
Bring some
dating game.
options in, and
Oh my gosh!
you could do a little question and answer.
a little Q&A for us.
I don't know about that.
All right, what a way to end our segment with the new pastor of Whittington Church, Bob Pankey. No, we appreciate him coming on, and that's it for part 3. And we're going to take a quick break and be back with Dave Brown and a couple of his players. All right, welcome back. Segment 4, Russ.
Segment 4.
Segment 4 of the big Christmas special. Obviously, the show comes out Christmas night, 4 p.m. It'll be big time, whether you're on YouTube or if you're on Spotify or if you're on whatever, Napster.
Truth Social is
Truth
the big one.
Social. Napster. These kids no one even knows what Napster even is, man.
Thanks a lot, Metallica.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks a lot, Metallica, for ruining it. AOL, if you're on AOL. But we've now been joined by Coach Dave Brown, downtown David Brown, and a few of his players. Coach, I've known you a long time. I've known you since you were wearing number 2 for the Rangers.
That's right.
Back when I was broadcasting, man. But no, I knew you before that, obviously. If you don't mind introducing your players you got with you and tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Hey, first, thanks for having me. Hey, is this the same couch that TJ Spencer was on?
It is not.
It's not, because my feet touched the floor. You know, he was kicking that whole time with his little legs.
That was in
He's
the
got
turkey
really
farm.
little legs. It was hilarious. But it was a good interview.
Yeah.
But no, this is Madelyn Roundcount. She plays. She's a senior for the Rangerettes this year. And this is her cousin, Kinley Glover, who's a junior. Both these players are some of the best players in Southern Illinois and really great Christian kids and good people to coach. So a lot of fun.
Yeah, you guys are off to season, midway through season already. 13 games, right?
Yeah, we loaded it up at the beginning. So
Yeah.
right now we're 9-4. It's been a good year.
It's Christmas time already, and you got the holiday tournament coming up. Obviously excited about that because, in my opinion, I think that's, if it's not the best one, it's at least top 2 in our area.
It really is. I mean, we try to make it tough. Some people like it, some people don't. But I think it's a good way mid-season to gauge where you're at.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to make a run at the end. So our tournament, we've got teams that I think are going to do stuff at the end of the year.
How many teams, Dave?
I think this year it is, no, I may be wrong on this one, Coach Garner.
We can edit it.
Yeah,
if you're
Coach
wrong.
Garner, he can clarify for you. But I think it's a 14. So, but
That's
it's
huge. Big tournament.
yeah, it's a big tournament and some good teams. I mean, Mount Carmel got 3rd in state last year. Civic Memorial is rolling this year. Carbondale, Harrisburg. I mean, you go down line, us, Vienna. It's a good tournament. Really, really good. And then you got Triad and some of those other northern teams that you won't really see.
Yeah, but it helps you
Around here.
out for sure.
Definitely. Are you
Well.
texting me, Trev?
No, I was texting. For some reason, AJ Kinsman has called me 3 times while I've been here. I'm not sure why.
He's
So
one on
I
the pod.
I don't know. I'm just trying to get on the show or something. He's not. This isn't
Well,
his
he's
day to
on.
be on.
He just got on.
I guess he's on now, but I'm like trying to hit reply.
Just tell him if he's coming, get Johnny with him.
No. Oh, Lord have mercy. Johnny's been begging. Johnny will come on sometime, I'm sure. Johnny will probably have his own show. Johnny's a dandy. Okay, so let me ask you this. You're coaching these 2 ladies here. You guys are 9-4 right now. How much of a transition? We can edit if we don't. I can say anything I want on here. But how much of a transition has it been bringing in a new player? And she's related to someone else on your team. Kind of talk about how that whole transition has kind of
Well,
come to play. When did you find out she was even coming to Benton?
she moved here, I think, back in March, was it? Last year. So she,
Okay.
Junior year.
Okay.
yeah, she moved here her junior year, and it's been
Just for basketball, or
No.
Family and basketball, yeah.
Hey, it's been seamless though.
yeah?
I mean, when we have a really good chemistry this year. We have kids that get along and work hard for each other, and she's just like that. She fits right in there. She works every single day. She works hard and does the right things. So, and then you got Kinley, does the same thing. Must be in the blood, right?
Yeah. Obviously, I went to school with. I don't know who your father is. He didn't go to Benton, right?
No.
I went to school with her mom and dad and your mom. So, how unique is it to be? I mean, you didn't grow up in Benton, right?
No.
No. You grew up where?
I grew up in Bethalto, Illinois,
Okay.
and then I moved to Iowa, and now I'm back in Illinois. So,
Okay.
yeah.
someone's job, probably something, parents?
Yeah, my mom.
Okay. So Micah Woodfin, Roundcount,
Yes.
is your mother.
Yes.
And obviously she played sports at Benton High School. Kinley's parents, obviously Marcy and Dan Glover. Marcy Woodfin, Dan Glover, both. I don't know if mom is for sure. I know dad's picture's on the wall. Is mom's picture on the wall too?
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe we can make that happen, Dave?
I mean, we can pull some strings. I mean, we know a couple board members. I think it'll happen.
I mean, yes. I mean, Andy's in the background here. Can we call Stacy? Can we make something happen here? But how cool is it for the two of you to get to play together, growing up together?
It's pretty cool. I think she would always come down for camps when we were little, so we kind of got to play a little bit when we were little, but now that she's back, we've never really been this close, I don't think, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we've always been competitive growing up, and like she said, I came to basketball camp, so that was always fun, and I saw Dave whenever I was younger too. Definitely a blessing. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, let me ask you this. I know you're obviously both very competitive. You're athletes. Does it ever get weird with this being your cousin? I mean, does it ever be like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know we're better than just some random kid on the team,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I definitely feel like I can. We sometimes butt heads on the court, but that's okay. We reconcile afterwards. So, yeah, I think it's important to have that person that'll hold you accountable on the court, and we can come back after the game and kind of debrief over that constructive criticism, you know. So, yeah.
It's good. Dave, how is it coaching cousins?
I mean, it's good. We've had sisters, cousins, a little bit of everything, so it's just fine. They get along,
it, right?
Oh, they get it. They want to win.
Sure.
When you got kids that want to do the right thing, work hard every day, and want to win, it's easy. My job's easy. I mean, they go on the court. They work so hard and off the court that they know what I want before I even call it. I mean, Kinley a lot of times will call things out and say, hey, let's do this, and I'll look over at Nick, my assistant, and say, well, it's a good idea, let's do it. So everything's good with them. The cousin thing, not a problem.
I want to know when we're going to get Russ at one of the games.
Yeah,
I was at one of their games.
Were you? All right, good job,
I was
Trav.
at the Heron Invitational.
Like I said, Russ back at a game. Will you be at the tournament game?
I'm sure I'll be at the tournament, yeah. Yeah, the tournament's going to be so many tournaments, but I'll be at that one. It's right in my backyard.
Everybody's got a tournament, Russ.
I know.
They
There are
really
good
do.
teams at the tournament this year. I mean, who's good at our
It's
tournament?
loaded, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Mount Carmel got third in state and lost one kid.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
So they got a big kid that's going to go play college ball. They got Civic hasn't lost. They've been rolling. You know, Mount Vernon, Carbondale. You got those names in there. It's going to be pretty
Big
good.
time.
Yeah, and us.
Yeah, and the Rangerettes.
That's right. That's right.
And I got a hat, so.
You do. It looks good on you.
I don't know about that, but.
It does. It does.
Madelyn, talking about moving from Iowa to Benton, obviously I know all the top teams in our area, like the Harrisburgs, the teams that have good, like Nashville,
Can't say
obviously.
Harrisburg around Dave, probably.
Hey, I'm sorry about that. But
You're all right.
Harrisburg, Vining,
I'm gonna call
Nashville,
JK
all
on
those
right
teams. But what was it like transitioning from Iowa to Benton? I mean, as far as the way they played up there compared to here?
Yeah, I mean, in Iowa, we did not have tournaments. Like, in our regular season, we didn't have summer tournaments for our school play either, so that's definitely been an exciting experience, and I've definitely loved that part. I'm excited for the Christmas tournament to come up. Yeah. That would be the biggest change, I'd say, but yeah.
I'd say Illinois is definitely tournament crazy.
Oh, yeah.
We love tournaments in Illinois.
Yes.
Anyway, we could. I'm sure there's a way we're tasking this somehow.
Yeah, which this year, this is the last year, but for boys basketball, there's a tournament almost like every single week of the year, and there's the holiday tournament before the holiday tournaments. There's the holiday tournament, all the holiday tournaments, and I believe there's another tournament after. But it's just tournament crazy here.
Oh, yeah.
I got a question for Kinley. Obviously, two very, very competitive parents. How has that kind of shaped you? I mean, your mother was a point guard. Your dad played everything in basketball. Tremendous shooter. He was a year older than me. I've watched him play my whole life growing up. I mean, he was a very, very, very good basketball player at Benton High School. It must be nice to have those genes, right?
Yeah, it is. They definitely help me a lot during basketball. They push me and they kind of have standards for me, but not really. It's just good that, because most of the time I have my dad go to the gym with me, and they both can tell me things that I need to work on and help me in the gym. So it's definitely good.
Your dad's coaching now, right?
Yep.
How is that, having dad on the bench?
It's good sometimes. Other times it's okay. I like it though, because I like having him there in practice, because it definitely helps me, and I know it helps everybody else too. But when we get home, we talk about it a little bit, but it's not like the main thing we talk about all the time, so that's good.
Who's got the best shot, you or your dad?
I'd say me.
I love it. Your dad can fill it up, man. For sure.
When did he graduate?
95. Same age as Coach Sloan back there. You guys probably battled, right? Yeah. Yeah. Coach.
You know, there's two types of dynamics when it comes to dads and being around it and coaching. It's either the dynamic where they don't see everything, maybe the blinders on.
Sure.
And then there's the ones that hold their kids accountable. I think Daniel does a good job, a really good job holding Kinley accountable, and he'll listen. Like, if he'll be like, hey, did I come too much on that one or what? So the thing about Case McCommons, he's another one who held his son accountable, and look what he did. So
Sure.
Yeah.
having Daniel around's really been good. It's been good for our program, good for our kids. So
Just ask my kids how it is to play for your dad.
well,
They both hated me.
I noticed where you sit during the games, so I get it.
For sure. Yeah, Ronnie keeps me on the book so I can't get thrown out.
Well, now you need to watch that because Troy Pataki gave a guy a technical who was on the book just on Saturday. Wasn't
Really?
me. I wasn't on the book.
Yesterday, I
He
was
gave
just-
me one
Hey,
at the
yesterday, I
game
was
the
just
other
trying
day.
to
But
keep track of the playlist at Cairo. That's what they had me down there for. Oh, man. Dave, let's switch gears a little bit here. Talk a little bit. We're going to talk Christmas. This is the Christmas show. Talk a little bit about what Christmas means to you as a coach and as a dad, as a husband, all the above.
well, it's a little different for me. You know, growing up, you know my backstory a little bit. I grew up with you, and I didn't have the best parents. We'll just put it like that. So I didn't have Christmas. I really didn't. Like, one day I woke up and Mom said, we're not having Christmas anymore. That's just the way it is. And so other people brought me in, and I had Christmas through other people. I always felt like I was on the outside. Now, when I have my kids, and I have my wife now, and I have my family, that's what it's about. See, I think people get caught up in the trees and the presents and all that stuff. I don't need anything. I got everything. It's about that family. It's awesome. My girls are home right now. We hung out last night. It was great. So that's what Christmas is all about. Of course, Jesus, right? But
Jesus is the reason for the season.
that's right. That's right. I heard your last interview with Bob, which was good, and I think he does a lot of good things. I mentioned a lot of good people, like Nick Hill and
Sure.
stuff like that. So keep the main reason the real reason, and everything will be all right.
The main reason's the main reason.
That's right. Keep the main thing the main thing.
Well, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I've known you since you're a little twerp, before you had big muscles. And Bill and Glenda Raby, what do they mean to you?
Everything. I mean, I call them mom and
Would
dad.
you be here right now?
I would hope, but you never know.
Yeah.
There's people like that. That's why
I'm just trying to get you
I
emotional.
love to
I
coach.
got everybody
No.
else emotional.
That's all right. That's all right. I love to coach. I want to win. Travis, you and I have had many conversations on coaching your son this year was really cool. So we talked a lot about.
I still owe you a check.
Yeah, that's true. But we can collect that later. Winning's important, but I don't think people understand me completely unless they've been around me.
Sure.
If it wasn't for Bill and Glenda Raby doing things for me when they didn't have to, they loved me when they didn't have to. That's what I try to do with my players. My wife, at times, it took her a little bit to understand, and sometimes I don't think she will because she's never been through it. But you gotta love your players and love who you're with, and no matter what, no matter if they get mad at you and don't want to talk to you ever again, whatever, you still love them. But that's what Bill and Glenda Raby did for me, because believe me, I was tough to deal with, like you said, a little twerp. So.
You didn't always have the big biceps. Ladies, what's Christmas mean to you guys?
I think we have a big family on our mom's sides, and so really just everybody comes to Benton for Christmas. We've always done Christmas at our grandparents' house, and just a lot of people, and I think it's definitely about that. I like being with your family and just being with everybody, and of course Jesus and everything, but I think it's really just about being with everybody, being with your family.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that one of my favorite Christmas traditions with our side is that our grandpa's always had us, the grandkids, read a part of the Christmas story, and we do that Christmas Eve all together. So that's been awesome. But yeah, remembering and just having a time to love your family and reconnect, because we're all in different areas. So yeah.
Are you talking about Mr. Woodfin?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys know this, but from someone that grew up around your family, a lot of respect people have for Steve Woodfin. I mean, he amazing job. He did running the bank for a long time, but just always a really, you know where you stand with a guy like him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, very ultra conservative guy, good man, loves sports.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very, very good family, and obviously your grandma, I mean, I respect her a ton. I mean, Lord knows she had to put up with me in high school. Poor Sue, but no, she's awesome. Hope she likes that Equinox. But a little plug for Trav there. No, I always respected her because she was like, you knew where you stood with her.
Oh,
you know what I mean? No BS with Sue. I always still call her. I don't even call her Sue. I mean, it'll always be Mrs. Woodfin to me my whole life. But you guys will realize this as you get older. But your grandparents, I don't know the grandparent. I know that I know Cheryl Glover. Obviously, I know your grandpa that passed away. I don't know the Roundcount side, but you know, I was always scared of Mrs. Glover too, man. Gosh dang it! Because if you got to Cheryl, you were in trouble. She was running in-school suspension. Did you guys know that? Yeah, if you got too many demerits, Lord knows it was awkward when your dad's the school board president at the grade school and I'm getting demerits. Super awkward.
So you're in there a lot.
Oh, Dave. I'll have to bring Dave on sometime to talk about Dave Severin, not Dave Brown.
Hey, I got my demerits too. You weren't alone.
No, it's good times, man. But well, Dave, buddy, you're about there, man. 9-4. Christmas. When's the first game? When's the first game of the tournament?
We play at 3 on the 26th.
You play at 3 on the 26th.
Yeah, we play Heron.
Once you get done with Heron, you get done with the Christmas tournament, you're full swing into the conference. I mean, what was kind of your goals for this team this year? I mean, I know obviously everybody wants to win a regional, everybody wants to win this. Well, I mean, conference, regional, what for the Rangerettes?
Well, we do something. I'm sure other people do it too. But I try to get them involved as much as I can. So they set the goals.
Okay.
We talk. What's your goals? How are you going to get there? What's that look like? You know, because you can lead a horse to water, but you can't always make them drink. You got to make them think. So they set the goals. They wanted to win conference. They wanted to win this game by this much. I mean, they got into it. It was pretty cool. Every game is another practice. Mike Carbonero, I've shared that story with Zerwinski before, but he told me that, and he played in the NFL, played for the Salukis, all that kind of good stuff. But in the end, it's how we finish. We want to finish the right way. Yes, we have goals. Yes, we want to win. I mean, conference would be great, but you're looking at number 1 Nashville, who, when you get to their bench, it's 6'3", 6'1", 6 foot. That's a tough one to go against, but we just want to finish the right way.
It's a good-sized men's team.
Yeah, they're special. I mean, it looks like everybody's zoomed in on their players when you watch them on film. They're all a little bit taller and a little bit stronger.
Aren't they pretty young too?
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, when I watched Tuttle, I was like, wait a second, this is crazy.
So much bigger.
Yes, but
Coach Wheeler talked about something in the water, man.
Yeah, I like that we get to play them though. It's a good test.
Sure.
It really is. And we didn't shoot as well when we played them the first time, and I think the next time it'll be a better contest, and it kind of helps you out.
Yeah, Nashville's always loaded in all their sports, and I know aren't they relatively young too?
Well, they're juniors now. Their main level of players is juniors, especially with them losing the senior. She blew her knee out, which is very sad. But
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and I talked to them, and I've talked to a lot of people around Nashville. Boys and girls, they all play all sports. This whole age of, I'm going to concentrate. They don't do that. They all play basketball. They all play football. They all play volleyball. I mean, Bierman hurt her ankle originally playing volleyball, but she's also could have went D1 in all track. She could have went D1 in basketball. She could have went D1 in volleyball. They all do everything and they stick together.
Specialization sucks.
Yes.
I don't.
Can I say that on the balling for God?
There's plenty of time in the day.
I can say sucks.
There's plenty of time in the day to work on everything.
Sure, there is.
You know what I mean?
And when you get to a certain level, if you go down from 3 to 2, but some of these guys and gals that just want to do one in a tiny school. Sorry if you guys only do. I don't think you guys do. I know you don't. But you know what I'm saying. I mean. In Benton, Illinois, I mean, Nashville even smaller than us. In Benton, Illinois, let's get real. We could have had better teams, I'm sure, in sports, but you'll have boys and girls who are just like.
But it's, and I know everybody in this room was going to say the same thing. I mean, sports in high school builds character, right?
Sure it does.
So what kind of character is it if you don't play a sport because you're not the best person on that team?
Yeah.
So Kinley's good at volleyball and
I never would have
basketball.
played sports, Dave.
Well, there we go. There we go. But the best person on your football team may be just a 6th, 7th man on your basketball team, and you need them 6, 7 exactly. I'm glad you're up on that. But you need them. You need them to win.
Yeah.
You need this as a team.
You're
you
not
need
in a school with 1,600 students where you can just cherry pick who you got. Yeah.
So why not help each other out? Because I mean that's
I
the way
think
it
a lot
is.
of that's at home, and some of those kids have a home life that maybe pushes them into things, and sometimes they don't. They don't, maybe it's like, I don't know, I don't want to do this.
Right.
No one's going, hey man, Russell, they need you to help with the volleyball team or the track team or the baseball team or the wrestling. You know what I mean?
I don't know about playing volleyball.
I think Russ would be great.
Russ, you would have been good at volleyball. I mean, you're a setter. I could see it. It would
More
have
of
been
a
great.
maybe sitter. I don't know about
But like
Valero?
I don't even know what that
these
means.
girls are
Is that a car?
multi-sports. I mean, they're multi-sport athletes.
Sure.
Yeah.
They're winners. There's
Well, their
nothing-
parents were too.
Yes.
Parents were multi-sport athletes, and that
I think there's very few multi-sport athletes now, and it's just kind of far in between to find them. But when they are, they're pretty good. Just a couple guys in the South 7, Callahan Roper and Archie Guai, they're already doing some special things, especially Archie. He's all South in all of his sports, and he's just a sophomore. He was all South basketball, baseball, and football his freshman year. And I think it's just special whenever you're able to do that, especially at such a young age.
Right, and you only get this once. You get
Yeah.
to go through this life one time, in high school one time. And look at Ethan McCommons. I mean, he's an amazing, one of the best defensive players to ever play football. He's out there playing basketball too.
Sure.
I mean, he's doing good things on the courts for the Rangers.
Yeah.
So is Schaefer and those guys. That's what you want.
Well, I told someone this the other day. We were talking. Obviously Trey's just a year out of high school, but he was one of the biggest boys' classes to go through Benton in 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
Grant Owens, Kyle Thomas, Trey Severin were the only 3 kids that played football, basketball, and baseball. When I was growing up, there's 20 guys that did that.
Right.
You
It was
know?
almost a rule.
There was 3 dudes, and that was a humongous boys' class.
Right.
We got a lot of D1 guys too.
Yeah, I mean that class was loaded with athletes, but you have to have. I mean, I don't say that. You don't have to have anything, but it helps.
Oh, it does help. I mean, a lot of the girls that play volleyball play basketball, and it helps us a ton. I mean, they're already that helps with your chemistry. They've already played a season and had success, and winning breeds winning kind of deal.
All right, before we let you guys get out of here, here's the $1 million question. Everybody has to answer. Kinley, what is your go-to thing to eat for Christmas?
Oh, I don't know. That's a hard one. I'll always eat some mac and cheese. It's my go-to for everything.
Mac and cheese staple.
Yeah. I don't know.
potatoes.
Yeah.
Perfect
Probably
mac and
any
cheese.
time of potatoes.
Perfect mac and cheese since you're dating a Mac.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I just did. How about you?
My mom makes some really good green bean casserole.
Green bean casserole. Okay. Like little onion things on top.
Oh yeah.
The crunchy things.
Oh
whatever
yeah.
that stuff
I like
is.
the crunch. Yep.
Yes. Yes.
That's it.
Green bean casserole. All right, DB. What is it?
Hey, I noticed around Thanksgiving it's going to be the same as Christmas. I'm just straight sides. I'm going
Yes.
no meat. I'm going straight sides. I'm getting
Sides are good.
a plate as big as Russ's head, and I'm putting all the sides, all of it. Yes, and it's going to be sides. Casserole this, casserole that. Oh my gosh, cottage
40 by 20.
cheese, party food like cottage cheese. We're getting it all out there.
Yeah.
Straight
If you wore a
sides.
fitted hat, what size would it be? A 9?
I mean,
Do they
maybe.
make a 9?
Do they make a 9?
No.
They make it 10.5, don't they?
That's a shoe size.
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
What size hat do you think Shaq wears?
Whatever.
I don't know.
Russ, he's got all the money. He wears whatever size he wants.
Yeah, I'm gonna say adjustable.
Yes.
Snapback.
I think
Snapback.
it's fitted just like his.
Hey, Ron Tho passed away.
Yeah, just like his shoes.
Oh man, Russ, finish him up, man. Finish him up.
Just talk about you talked about the goals, but and you talked about playing with each other, but just talk about why you guys do what you do. I mean, you said multi-sport athletes, and talk about why you're coaching. What got you guys into what you do?
You want them to start? You want me to start?
Whoever wants.
All right, I'll start. I've always wanted to be a coach. When I was little, I wanted to be Steve Fisher. He was a Herring guy, so that kind of Fab Five. That's kind of what we're rolling with. We play about five kids right now, but
You weren't even here 2 years ago. 2 hours ago. He was honestly brought up.
Hey, that's
2 hours
my
ago,
guy.
we brought up Steve Fisher. He didn't know who it was.
Steve Fisher,
That's
Fab
hilarious.
Five.
You
Check
weren't
it
even
out.
here.
Yeah.
That was the Blondis that brought him up, or the Wheelers?
This is the Wheelers.
Oh, Little Wheels. Little Wheels. Shout out to Little Wheels. I was the Little Wheel. But Steve Fisher and Doug Collins, because Doug was coaching Michael Jordan at that time. So that was a big deal. I wanted to coach. I get to give back. I have passion for it. Love for it. As far as this year, I want to brag on these two. Kinley's going to be scratching on getting 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds heading into her senior year. She's one of the best rebounders I've ever been around. Right now she's averaging 16 points and somewhere around 13 to 14 rebounds a game, which is pretty cool.
She wants Valanciunas.
Yeah, and she it's violent when she rebounds. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Used to be fouls, but now we kind of cut them out, right? So we're not running people over. We're just going to get them. But they make it fun. She makes it fun. She works hard every day. Madelyn works hard every morning. Right now she's right up there around 14 points a game. Same thing, right at 10 rebounds, all that. I say that to say our goals this year, we want to play fast and have fun. And they share it. We played Murfreesboro the other night. We had 3 girls with 20 points almost. So these girls are fun to watch, fun to coach. I tell everybody who watches the podcast, come out and watch them play. Watch them move the ball. Watch them shoot the ball. Watch them get up and down the floor and press. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I would say love for the game. I think basketball opens up so many doors. You can have so many relationships. I'm back back here playing with Kinley, and I never even imagined that growing up. And definitely just all the relationships you can build. And when God provides and gives you something, a skill to do, you build off of that, and that's definitely a point as well. So, yeah.
I agree with pretty much everything she said. It's just I like the relationships that you get to build with everybody. Especially with me playing volleyball, going right into basketball, I get to play volleyball with some of my best friends and transition into basketball with the same thing and get some new people like her. So it's definitely fun.
Mm-hmm.
You want to close it out, or you want me to?
Come on, Travis.
Well, I'm like 3-1 questions today, but I'm just thankful for you guys coming on. I know it's a busy time of year. Dave, I appreciate what you do. I know you have a lot of fun with it, a lot of passion for sports, for kids, for seeing for seeing kids develop, for seeing kids make something of themselves. You know, showing people from Benton they can do great things. You know, sometimes these small towns, kids kind of just get pushed to the side, you know, but you're a great example of how you can rise from the ashes. You know what I mean? I'm not starting to preach here, but no, that means something to me, you know, and seeing, and I think your players know that. You know, they know that you want to get the best from kids, but I just want to ask, who gets to wear the belt?
Well, I tell you what, Travis. Russ keeps coming to games and video, and boy, I'll give him the belt. What do you think? We get him downstairs, flip it over the shoulder, Russ holds it up.
There we go.
Hey, maybe we get him 2 waters, splash them together like Stone Cold or something, you know? Yes. What do you think? That'd be nice.
I love it. I think I'm all 100%.
Hey, that could be the intro to the podcast if I do that.
Boom. Yes.
Ba-bum.
Hey, that's liven it up, kind
Conwell
of like
316.
Yes.
Conwell 316.
What's the punter from the Colts?
What?
Or the punter from the Colts he's got all the podcasts and all that kind of stuff now.
On ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pat
Come
McAfee.
on, Russ.
Who? Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee.
You could be the next Pat
Yes.
McAfee. Yes.
Yes.
I
Oh
like
my,
that.
he's wild.
Pat McAfee's wild. Great biceps.
See him when he takes his shirt off?
I have. This ball forgotten, Russ.
That's true.
We're not doing the ball for second show. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate it. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you guys, and I'll probably see you guys at the Christopher. Not Christopher.
Christopher.
We had Tom Wheeler on. It's hard not to think about.
It
Hey,
was 4 hours ago.
Sally Niemeyer Christopher's coming to town. He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking about. But yeah, probably see you guys at the Christmas tournament, and I don't know, it's just I don't know. Basketball is just my favorite time of year. I enjoy it, and I don't know. You can probably tell by how much more work I put into basketball season compared to football season. But thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having us, for real. Thank you. It means a lot for me and to have these girls on here and hype them up for what they're doing. They're doing some good things.
No, it's good times, man. That'll do it for segment 27 of the Ballin' for God podcast. The episode 7 here is our 27th segment. Just kidding. We'll be right back, though, with the Sloans. We're finishing up with the Sloan, the trio of Bobby, Andy, and Sandman. We'll be back right after this. All right, Russ, we're back. It's the last session of the Marathon Christmas Special.
I think it is. Unless we got somebody more.
Do we have more people coming?
We should call some more people.
Somebody might just pulled up. Take it away, Russ.
Well, it's obviously a well-known family in our area, the Sloans, and I don't know. I'm excited for it. You know, obviously I know Andy from. I know him as Mr. Sloan, so it's
Mr. Sloan.
Yeah, or Coach Sloan. But I know him from school, and I obviously know Sandler, and you know all these guys. So it's just a good episode. And do you guys want to just introduce yourselves? Let everybody know who you are.
Yeah. Andy Sloan. That's me right here.
I'm Sandler Sloan. I'm in 8th grade.
I'm Bob Sloan, been retired 20 years and still helping Andy a little bit and following this one around. And Tenzie, you know, she's a senior cheerleader and she'll be here last year in track also. So I'm looking forward to all this, you know, what's coming on after get over through these winter days and get to spring again.
The old track coach in you.
Oh, I tell you what, I love it. And, you know, Coach, you've run it, and Andy, you guys ran against each other, I think, didn't you?
We did.
Yeah, but it's a great sport, and it's, it's a good tool to use for all the other sports. And I've always enjoyed it, and so I've kept at it and just enjoy being around the kids. I think, like they say, a lot of people say it, but it kind of keeps you young.
I just like Dad's outfit today. He's Christmas. Look at that green and red.
He looks good.
He looks great. Looks like he can still get out there.
He's got red, green, blue, actually. He's got the jeans on, too.
I love it, man. He ain't playing around. Guys, all right, sports family. Bob, I asked you this before we came on a minute ago. For those that might not know, I don't hate West Frankfort.
You just said the town name.
Yeah, I said it. I didn't say down the road or anything.
Yeah.
But I work with a lot of West Frankfort guys, and I have family in West Frankfort. My dad's oldest brother, Dale, Severin, lives in West Frankfort. My mom's side of the family, on her dad's side, was from West Frankfort. So they were Edwards. Frank Edwards was my grandpa. He actually went to West Frankfort through his sophomore year. Herbert and Opal Edwards were my great-grandparents. They were big supporters of West Frankfort.
Oh, they were my neighbors.
Yeah, Herbert.
My
Bear.
gosh.
They called him Bear.
Yeah, Bear would come out and in football season, Bear would always be out there. He'd come by and he'd go, give you a piece of peppermint candy. And he said, don't tell anybody. Oh my gosh.
That's my great-grandfather.
Oh.
That's one of the reasons why, here's what's crazy, small world, man.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I wanted to get into broadcasting. He would listen to Cardinal baseball, and he would turn this little bitty TV off he had in this room and make me listen to the game, listen to Jack Buck.
Yep.
He loved Jack Buck.
Oh.
He loved Jack Buck, and he loved David Lee. He loved Dave Lee. He thought Dave Lee was the greatest basketball coach. He always talked to me about the West Frankfort Redbirds and Dave Lee, but I joke to people, being from Benton, that we hadn't had anybody from West Frankfort on the show yet. Now, obviously, Sandler plays for Benton, and Andy coaches at Benton, but you coached a long, long time for the West Frankfort Redbirds.
Yes, I did.
Andy played on some great teams, whether it was track or basketball, but the Redbirds have had some tough seasons the last few years in some sports. They have.
Oh,
They've come back in football the last couple of years. But I think this generation, Russell and Doc Young and Camden over there, they're 18, 19 years old. They don't realize the history of the Redbirds. I mean, you were there some great times.
Oh, some great times. Even when I was in grade school, that 1960 team, they back then they had, sudden death. They had overtime, and if it was tied, then it went to sudden death, whoever scored first. And I think they won 3 playoff games on their way to state tournament. And I can name all the guys playing and everything. It was a great time, great quarterbacks. Bobby Brown was there, just some great athletes. Tim Ritchie and the Warren boys. Andy, of course, he was one of the few that I ever coached that he competed in 4 sports in 1 year. He was ran cross country and played football, and of course played basketball and ran track. So, it was a lot of fun. Had a lot of great families, like you say, come through. Shagnon. We had Shagnon as a coach over there for quite a while. The Hughes boys, brothers, just one after the other, and just some great people who were involved in the programs throughout the years.
It's obviously, we obviously think of it as our rival. It's the biggest rival we have. But
They're 6 miles apart.
Yeah, but you have to respect with what they've done with their football program, especially rebuilding. For a long time, didn't they lead the series between Benton and Frankfort?
For a long time, they led the series.
Yeah,
yes.
and then obviously the past, 15, 20 years, Benton's kind of taken it over. But right. West Frankfort, past few years, they've really brought themselves back up. I don't know. I always enjoy playing them. It's something you always still look forward to, no matter who. I think that Benton could be 0-9 and West Frankfort could be undefeated, whatever. I think everybody still look forward to that game. Yeah. And but I obviously look back at the history a lot. I'm a big history guy, and you walk into that Max Morse Gymnasium, you see all the history they have there. What's it mean to you to be a part of a community like that, and be from there?
Andy, you want to say something?
You played there.
Oh yeah, well I played there, so it was a different time then. I can remember always going to the games as a kid. Mom, Dad would take me, listen to the games on the radio when we couldn't make it. But playing in that gym, in the time when I played, we were fortunate to have a really good team. It would be almost packed, and it's a great. I think it's a great gym if you're the home team. If you're the visiting team, which I see it on a different side now, not so much. But we just had such a good following, and that didn't start in my senior year in '94, '95. It started before then. The team in '86 that placed at state, and then my cousin's team in '91 got beat in the sectional championship. So we had some good teams and good following, and I I'd watched the other night on social media I think they were playing Nashville, and it looked like there weren't 100 people in the stands, and it's kind of sad to see, even though I'm not a part of that, or I don't coach or really have any affiliation with it anymore. It's still sad to see that that's kind of what's happened over all these years. So, but yeah, it was great. The experience that I had there, I was very fortunate to play with some really good players. We had a really good class of athletes. And
who were the players, Andy, you were with?
Well, my senior year, we had 9 seniors, but a couple of the guys that people may know, Lance Brown went on to Johnny Logan at SIU. Andy Oda was our point guard. He teaches over in Ziegler. Ricky Kramer was our power forward. He got drafted by the Yankees.
Struck me out like 9
probably
times.
if he wouldn't have had an arm injury, he may have made it. I mean, he was really, really good. Myself, and then Chris Dorse was our center, 6'9" center. Wow. Chris played up until 7th grade. His parents had a big thoroughbred horse farm, and Chris liked to do the horse side of things. He liked to hunt. So after our 7th grade year, he says, "I'm not playing anymore," and so didn't play in 8th grade, freshman year, sophomore year. I can remember my freshman year because I played a little bit of JV. Dave Lee took the team because Dave Lee was the head coach when I was a freshman. He took the team to Dorse's horse farm to try to get him to come out for basketball. That didn't work, but finally, our junior year, he came out. Played JV pretty much all year as a junior. I know that's a lot of juniors now think they should be playing varsity. And then as a senior, I mean, he was really good and probably the difference for us because that's the piece that we missed. And he went on and played for Coach Wills at Wren Lake, and then he went to Arkansas Tech, I think it's Division II, and played. So he had a good playing career. So we had those guys, and then the guys that came out. We had 4 other seniors. Craig Castrelli was a really good golfer. Played for us. A kid named Mark Powell could shoot it. My cousin Bart Sloan could shoot it, and then Russell Winiger. So we had 9 seniors. Those other 4 guys I mentioned probably could have started for a lot of other teams around. They were really good and made practices really, really competitive, and it was very, very enjoyable.
All right, Sandler. Your mom was a Rangerette. Your dad was a Redbird. Grandpa was a Redbird, but he's transitioned over to the Rangers and Rangerettes. You've been around sports your whole life.
Yeah.
Tell me how it's been growing up with the Sloan family and sports.
Oh, it's been awesome, because I get opportunities and not everybody else gets to have, It's been very unique, really cool going to all the games and getting to see us win a lot, like that trip to state was something that may not happen again for a while. So it's really cool to
I'm
get
banking
those
on it happening in the
opportunities.
next 4 years, so you better make it happen.
We hope so. We hope so. But yeah, it hadn't happened in a long time, since '92 when JoJo Johnson led them to state. So yeah, it's really cool to get these opportunities and try to take advantage of them.
Well, I know, obviously Russell and I enjoy having you guys on and talking today with all these different families. Russ does so much work with Ballin' for God, with shooting, videos of games. Does so much work with editing, whether it's for Darren Kennard with Sports Central, whether it's with his own platform with Ballin' for God, whether it's the show we do. But you're into media now.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about the enjoyment you're having doing broadcasts.
Oh, I love it. Danny takes good care of me. We get to go all over the place. Cairo was our most recent trip. It's cool. We get to do a lot of stuff, and I broadcasted up at the state tournament. That was best experience ever. Best I could ask for, and I'll forever be grateful for that.
Bob, how is it as a grandpa? I see the smile on your face. Getting to watch your grandson, you get to watch your granddaughter cheer and run track. How does it make you feel?
I feel so warm inside, it almost makes me cry. But I see, Tinsley, she's getting ready to graduate. Sandler's moving on from 8th grade to high school. I lived in Frankfort for so many years, and I do now live in Benton. But when I go to Frankfort, I wear my Benton attire.
Yes.
And people will say, well, how do you wear that? I said, blood's a lot thicker than water, and that's where my family is. And of course, I'm here now, and I love it. Just see them coming down the driveway in the mornings or coming home in the evening. You know, I really enjoy the people in Benton. I think they got a lot of pride. I think they've built a culture here that is now lacking in a lot of the other towns, which we talked about a little bit before, and West Frankfort is kind of lacking there right now. Hopefully they'll get back on their feet. And I would like to say a couple things real fast about the '86 football team in West Frankfort. They were the first team to ever make the playoffs. They won our first 2 playoff games. The first game of the year, we opened up with DuQuoin at DuQuoin, and they had played in the playoffs the previous year. We knocked them off. We were 0-9 in '85. 0-9. Wow. But those kids became doctors, lawyers. I mean, they were very intelligent kids. And one, of course, our quarterback was Brad Poole. And Brad is now, I think, the president and general manager of Marion Ford. Yeah. And so, but great kids, but great parents. Great parents. Yeah.
Yeah, that '86 team had what? B.J. Reach as a doctor. Was
Yeah.
Denton Davis on that team?
Denton Davis,
Steve
yeah.
Young.
Steve Young, yeah.
Those 3 for sure.
Oh, they're
Hand surgery.
Is that right, Steve Young?
Steve Young, baby.
Yeah. So that was.
Yeah.
Those were probably some of my first real athletic memories of the '86 football team, '86 basketball team. Yeah. Those were.
Yeah, he'd run around with them, run out with the football team. And then, of course, when I was in track, he and Bart, his cousin, they were about like that, 5, 6. At the end of every meet, they'd run a 400. Give me that watch, and they would run the 400. But I can say one thing, and I know I'm somewhat biased, but Andy was probably the best all-around player that I ever coached. And my assistant, and I was his assistant, Johnny Reach, he kind of took Andy over about his sophomore year because Andy and Dad had a little friction at times. But it worked out great. You know what? And he's still my best friend, and I know Andy thinks the world of him, and he follows this kid, he follows Tinsley, and Coach Reed's a good man, and I had many, many great years with him. But again, it's the culture, the people, the parents, the families, the supporters of Benton, and not just athletics, but you can see it in all other avenues also. And it's great to see.
Here's the thing I've noticed about Benton growing up here in this last probably, because we hit a stretch. We hit a stretch that wasn't good for a while in sports. This last 10, 15 years with Ronnie in basketball, when he had Wade with him, now having Andy with him, Claude, after Rober had some great seasons and things kind of at the end, we fell off a little bit, but Robe, obviously, Hall of Fame coach, tremendous what he did at Benton.
Absolutely.
I mean, great coach. We're down for a little while. Claude started off slow, had a nice little stretch there. And then Justin's taking it to a different level. I mean, Groves is taking it to a different level, been in the playoffs, 4 or 5 straight years, winning season after winning season after winning season. What Aaron Robinson has done with wrestling, what, has happened, obviously the coaches with Coach Webb and Coach Groves with track. I'm probably forgetting some people, but golf, what Reggie Norman has done, there's a Frank Redbird. Yeah. What Reggie Norman, some people call us a golf school. I've just seen at Benton, cross country's been unbelievable. Yep. Obviously state champs. I mean, some of the boys' sports at Benton the last 10, 15 years, you've been a part of it coaching. Obviously, you've coached on the other side as well. But what do you think is it the culture, Andy? I mean, why have we been so successful? And some schools be like, oh, we were good in football. We've been good in about 6 different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is the culture and just kids understanding that, hey, here's the standard. And small towns especially, go through the ups and downs, a little bit of talent, lack of talent. But I think over the last several years, really, with Ron, the stability of a coach. I think Ron said that from the time he started at Benton, I think Frankfurt's had like 5 different basketball coaches, something like that, maybe more. But if you can keep the same guy around, and even though with football we've changed hands a few times, it's those guys have still, it hasn't been like one and done, and they've stayed there. And the kids, I think, just have those expectations. I think that's just a huge part of it. Our facilities are good. I think that definitely helps to have the facilities that we've had. But yeah, it's definitely been enjoyable. To be a part of it, to be around it, and just to be there cheering on the football team or following the cross country team or whatever it's been. So it's been really, really good, really good.
Sandler, what's it like being around your grandpa that coached forever, still coaching, your dad that coaches, your mom's an athletic director, your sister's a cheerleader and she'll be running here in a few months. How's it being able to watch that, and how's that kind of shaped you as you're an athlete, you're a multi-sport athlete, you run, you play basketball. I'm sure in high school you'll run and play basketball.
Yeah.
Will you run cross country and track in high school?
I think I'm going to run track.
Okay.
I'm not sure about cross country yet. I haven't really made up my mind. But yeah, it
Freshman
really.
quarterback maybe?
I don't know.
Quarterback,
We'll see.
golfer.
Golf, okay.
Maybe.
Golf, yeah.
Yeah. So haven't really decided yet.
But I mean, growing up, is it?
Oh yeah.
How cool has it been to see all?
Oh, it's been awesome. It really sets the standard and puts in perspective. How much work you have to put in to be good, and it's about winning. And that's the standard.
Oh,
So.
We're gonna make that a shirt.
And he likes some of my old stories.
Oh yeah, I love those.
Bet he does.
Love those. Yes.
Yeah, we get off on those sometimes.
Yeah.
He said there's been enough. Russ?
Sandler, for you, what's it mean to you to have grow up in this community, but then also now at a younger age? I thought starting in freshman year, getting involved with the stuff I do, it was early, but you got involved at 6th grade. And what do you think about what's it mean to you to have all these opportunities at such a young age, and then be able to continue it on even though you're playing basketball, and then you still get to go do all this stuff?
Oh, it means the world to me that everybody makes time for me and stuff. Especially Danny on the radio lets me go be on there, and it's awesome. I have a lot of fun with it. It's really cool. It means the world to me, and I'm very grateful for it, and I thank him for it.
Sandler, how about my Bears?
I know. How about them? I watched the
Did you
play
text
in
Brody
overtime
last
last night. I did. Bears win, Bears win, Bears win, all caps.
Yeah, he was excited. He said, Sandler texted me, Dad.
Yeah, I didn't know the first time I picked the Packers on my pick'em sheet. Brody wasn't too happy with me. And last night I picked the Bears. I felt like the Bears could get it done, and they did, and it was good to see.
It's great to see that last throw by Caleb.
Oh.
I kind of felt bad for him. So many losing seasons.
Russell's a Packers fan.
Oh.
Russell's going to kick me off the show. This is my last episode, guys.
I won't go any farther into that.
Okay. Russ wants me to ask you guys, Christmas coming up. What's the Sloan Christmas like? Bobby, what's it like?
Well, somewhat chaotic, but extremely. You can see all the love and everything. You sit down and you know there's presents under the tree and all, but being together as family, Stacia's family and us and all, and just to be able to share it together, it makes you so thankful that we live in this country and that we're so blessed to have the things that we are blessed with.
Sure.
Yeah.
Andy?
Yeah, it's I look forward to the family side part of it for sure. Growing up, my dad had a big family, and going to grandma and grandpa Sloan's was always look forward to that. And you miss that as you get older. And that's something, Ron does a good job of, and we talk about with our players, especially around Thanksgiving and stuff. Hey, if your grandparents are still alive, you embrace that. Spend time with your family because you just never know. So, as I've gotten older, I've really gotten to appreciate that more and more. And that's something I always look forward to. So I look forward to it again here in a couple of days. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think Christmas is a big time of year. It's obviously, I don't know, it's something special to get to spend time with family. I feel like, obviously, Thanksgiving, you get everybody there, and you're very thankful for everybody there. But I feel like Christmas, you get the prolonged break, so, you get more time to spend time with family.
Yes.
Obviously, you get school off for you guys. And
You guys are off for like a month this year.
I'm not complaining. Nobody will hear me complaining about being off.
as long as we don't get Ice Mageddon again,
Right.
like we did, what was it, last year?
Yeah, last year.
That was
Sure
horrible.
did.
I'd go a week and a half without videoing games.
Andy, what do you think about the Rangers so far this year? I'm not trying to switch gears on you,
No.
but
9-1.
9-1. I
9-1 at the break.
don't think a lot of people expected it, to be
Right,
honest with you.
sure. When you lose the seniors you lost last year, and I know everybody would obviously and very much deserving talk about Docker, but
Sure.
You've got to have those other guys too, Trey and Grant and Kyle, and we were talking about that in the office the other day, and losing them and then being able to come back and be where we're at. I don't think anybody thought we would be where we are, and defensively we're probably a little better than I thought.
Yeah.
Offensively, some nights we obviously when you shoot it good, you look good. So they've just really been a little grittier than I thought, and have rebounded the ball, done those little things a little bit better than maybe I thought they would, and they play extremely hard. I know we've got a long way to go. We haven't seen Nashville. We haven't seen Pete. We understand that, but I think Coach would take a 9-1 at Christmas every year.
You get your guys some good experience, especially a lot of those guys. And they helped with scout team over the past few years, but
Sure.
I've been very happy to see it. Obviously, as a sports media guy, I'm supposed to try to stay more impartial. But I'm just happy to see it because I feel like the defense. You graduate as 6'9" guy. You're like, man, what's going to happen? But I feel like they're honestly playing better at some points.
I agree. I think last year's team probably knew, hey, if the guy I'm guarding gets by me, Doc's in the back, and he's going to take care of it. And this year we can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Schaefer back there and around, but he's not as long or as tall, and doesn't affect it quite the way Docker did. But I think defensively we've been pretty good, and like you said, they've been on the scout team for a couple of years, and we've got some kids off the bench that are playing pretty well. So it's been really, really good. You do know I thought about this the other day. I've coached under the last 3 Benton head coaches. That just means I've been around a long time.
Hey, really? How many years have you been at Benton?
Since 2001. I got hired in August of 2001, and I really wasn't even going to coach. And sitting at home about September or October, my phone rings. It's Don Smith.
Dandy.
Okay, here's
R.I.P.
So Don said, hey, we need a sophomore basketball coach. Oh, okay, I'll do it. And that year, actually, we went 16-0. That sophomore team here. So I got spoiled right out of the gate. We had Drew Fraley, Zach Atkins, Aaron Walton, Justin Raby.
He's decent.
Okay, those a kid named Dustin Eccles, Garrett Britton. So
Garrett Britton
So I coached with Don, and then Don left that next year. Matt came in.
Yeah.
So I coached with Matt there for a couple years. Then I got out of it for a year or two. Then Ron came and got in it with him a little bit, and then went to the girls' side, back with Ron. So I've seen a lot, maybe more than I can remember sometimes. But it's been good. All those teams have been really, really competitive and good. So I've been very, very fortunate.
Fun fact that maybe we'll make this a trivia question. You're the only coach to win a state title in the high school. Am I wrong?
Well,
Two of them.
2 state titles.
2 state titles.
I'm not being a smart aleck, but Does anybody else want a state title in Benton High School history?
Only 1980 girls basketball team.
Yep,
Sally
girls
Niemeyer.
basketball.
That's right, Sally. She's on
So
my hat.
Sally's in 80,
Yep.
yeah.
On my hat.
And then those two in 06 and 08. And 06, I'll tell you a quick story. 06 was really fun because we didn't know how good we were. We knew we had Orley and Smith, but they were sophomores. And I'll never forget being at the state track meet. And so we run our prelims, and this is really before a lot of social media and stuff. So Coach Groves was my assistant. Dad was the other assistant. We're sitting in the hotel room, and Groves is looking at all this stuff, writing stuff down, taking notes, and he says, "Hey, I think if we run well, we might have a chance." And I said, "Are you?" We start talking about. Dad says, "You two need to just shut up." He
You
says,
guys are
"There's
crazy.
no way."
You guys
So,
are crazy.
We go out
I
the
hope
next
we
day.
get on the podium a couple times. So that
Things-
shows you
yeah.
what I knew.
Things fell our way, and we ended up winning it. And then 08 was, to be honest, was kind of stressful because now those kids were seniors. Ashley Webb was down in the mix, and we knew if we didn't win it, it was going to be a disappointment. So that one wasn't quite as enjoyable, and I was kind of happy when that was over just because of that. But yeah, that was great. So we had two there, and then I was able to be on there with Ronnie. So to be a part of 3 state trophies, when I got into coaching, that wasn't something you ever think about. It just happens. But looking back on it, it gives you a great appreciation because doing it as long as I have now, you know that you can coach your tail off, but if you don't have the athletes, you're only going to be so good anyway. You can put the time in like you do. It doesn't matter why your team is. You're going to put that time in, but you have to have some kids that are going to buy in and do the things that you need them to do, but they have to be talented too. And we've had some special teams, and I understand now at almost 50 that I didn't understand at 25 that those teams don't come around every year. It's about those kids. It's about those kids, and man, enjoy it because there's some years where you're not going to be very good. Just like the state basketball. I mean, I saw a picture of the super sectional. It was right at halftime, and Ron had somebody in the office has it up on the TV screen, and we're fist pumping, and the crowd's going crazy, and I'm like, man, look at that picture. If you could go back in time and appreciate that even more. That happens so quick.
Yes.
I mean, you play that sectional game on a Friday and super sectional and play that on a Monday.
Yes.
Yeah, Monday, and then you're off to state, and then it's over, and you enjoy it as much as you can because it may never happen again. So.
Yeah, that was a very special team for us, I'd say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean it was 92 to 24.
Mm-hmm.
I mean you're talking that's 32 years,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
It's 32 years
Yeah.
in between. It
Sure.
was March of 24 versus March of 92.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean it's you never know. I mean that's
You don't.
that's generations between that happening.
Yeah.
Obviously, I, from a very selfish standpoint, would love to see it happen, having a freshman in the next few years. But who knows, man? I mean, I didn't say this to Bob Pankey, but I've said this before. If you'd have told me that Hamilton Page and Blaine Pankey, as good as football players they were, would go through 4 years of high school and not make the playoffs, I'd say you're nuts. You just don't
Didn't
know.
realize that. You're right.
You don't know. And they were tremendous football players.
They would now.
What now? Sing one there. You got a singer in there. But, what I'm trying to get at is nothing's a given.
No.
Sure.
No.
Nothing's a given.
Injuries. Well, we saw what injuries created when we got there.
My dad's always said it was the pit and curse.
Sure. Yeah,
I'm just
because
saying, my dad was very close with Rich Herring, but Benton in the postseason has been bit by the injury bug probably more than any big-time school in this area. If you look back through, Fuston, I mean, if you look through all the things that have happened, Robbie Dunbar, I mean, that team is, unbelievable. If you look back at the injuries that have happened with Bruce, I mean, just for generations it happened,
Yeah.
I mean, these guys remember, Luke Melvin, but there was a lot more before Luke Melvin,
Yeah.
that,
absolutely.
And we won state in 06, 07. What happens to us?
Smith went down.
Yeah.
Courtney
Smith, Courtney broke her
ankle.
foot or whatever,
Broke her ankle,
and we lost 20 points. We were 5th place that year. We could have won it 3 years in a row, and that's crazy.
Fourth, weren't
That
you?
was, that was great. Yeah, you know, I got to talk to her a little bit about that.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I
Very,
saw it.
very well overdue. But yeah, she was.
Why did it take so long?
I don't know. I really.
I've been out of school like 18 years.
Yeah.
Every time Elmer Smith sees me, try.
Oh yeah,
Every time.
I asked her. I said, "Is Albert?"
Don't get him going.
Oh man.
Yeah, she was pretty special. I didn't get to coach her in basketball, but got to watch a lot of her games, and I know what kind of track athlete she was. So
Yeah,
that's awesome. And that 06 team is actually going into the Hall of Fame this year. So
Awesome.
and their medley team. So that's cool for them. It's been 20 years. Hard to believe.
Is that the rule to get
yes,
involved?
it's 20. It's a 20, which is kind of a long time, but
I know.
maybe Coach Wyman.
So will this be your first team as a coach to be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
look forward to that. Yeah, that'll be nice.
That'll be this summer?
But it'll be April 25th,
Okay,
I think.
April, okay.
So
We've
had a
got
chance
my
to
birthday
reach out to some of those kids. You know, they're all over the place. I had one in somebody's in Georgia, and
Wow.
Samantha Osborne's in Texas, and
Yeah, my buddy Oz.
yeah, Oz,
He told me
yeah.
his sister.
Orly's in Mexico.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice. Hopefully, a lot of those kids will be able to come back and experience that. I think that'd be really, really nice. Really nice for them.
History's awesome.
yeah.
I love looking back at that type of stuff. Me and Coach Wynn got to help Doug Collins for his speech. We got to give his exact amount of points he had in high school, and that was really fun too.
Oh yeah, I bet.
And like we got to go look through all the stat books from like the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and I don't know, it just like it felt so crazy and just weird to just go back and look at all that stuff. Because you hear about it, but then you get to go look back.
Yeah.
And, I don't know.
And there's been so many great athletes I don't think people realize. And Coach Wynn writing that book, I think, kind of brought that to the forefront a little bit. But yeah, you know, I mean, I hear Scott Page a lot talk about this guy or that guy, and he's just, you know, he's seen a lot. And there's even some people they'll drop a name. I'm like, I don't really know that guy. I don't want to go back and look and see who they were, what they did, what teams they played on, that sort of thing. So that's always really cool.
Bring it home, Russ.
What do you want? They talked
We're
about
4 hours in. Bring it home.
we talked about
4 hours. It started at 1.
talked about Christmas with you guys already.
Yeah.
But just talk about you going into the second half of the year. You guys are obviously really busy. It's gonna be ramping up here for you guys. Track and field is a big time of year for you guys. Just talk about this second half of the year as you guys got Tinsley. She's going to be graduating. Things are going to be changing soon for you guys.
Absolutely. We'll roll through basketball here. It'll really, once we get going in January, it'll go quick, and then we'll get into the spring, and Sandler's graduating 8th grade, Tinsley's graduating high school, but you know, as far as the track side of things, it gets rolling relatively quick too. You know, middle of February, late February, they'll start some indoor meets, and so that's kind of hard to juggle with coaching basketball and the track side of things, but we try to make that work the best we can, and we'll be looking forward to that, getting outdoors again, and got a new track. It's been resurfaced, repainted, looks really nice.
I'm excited to see it.
They've done a great job out there with those things, and Dr. Smith at the grade school has really been very helpful and has tried to give us anything that we could get out of the high school shares that some those expenses. But again, that goes back to facilities, and I think kids appreciate that, and it's not going to make you a state champion, but it sure does, I think, get kids excited. And you know, they have to be excited. If they're going to practice, whether it's basketball, football, track, baseball, whatever, if they're going to and practicing somewhere where the facilities aren't very good, that's just not very much fun. If they're not going to be excited, then it's really hard to coach because they really don't want to be there. And that's something I think in Benton we have going for us. So yeah, looking forward to that. Like I said, going to enjoy this basketball season, but I know that springtime will be right around the corner, and we'll jump into track and graduations and all that fun stuff. So
You're back as a track coach.
I am year two. So yeah, back in. I don't know. It's things are still the same as far as, I mean, nothing's really changed. You go, you know, from meet to meet. We try to put a good schedule together. We're gonna do a few different things this year. We're gonna go up to Mount Zion for a meet. it's nice to do an overnight trip with the kids throughout the year, I think, because not all of them are going to qualify for state, especially in Class 2A that we're in right now, because a lot of people don't know, but track is a 3A sport. So you're competing with teams from about 500 to about 1,500. So it gets very difficult. We do have a really good pole vaulter in Annalise McLean, so hopefully she qualified last year as a freshman. So hopefully we can get a few to maybe join her this year. But yeah, definitely looking forward to it. We got a lot of kids coming back, and should be a fun year.
Well, I think that pretty well wraps it up. I mean, unless you got something else to cover, we got them with Christmas and basketball, football, whatever you want them to cover. They covered all the bases.
I'm thankful for you guys coming out. I know it's a busy time of year.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, I mean,
we enjoy it. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
I know it's tough. People's schedules are crazy. People got stuff going on. We love sports. We love talking to people. And, Bobby Blondi said it. Tom Wheeler said it today. Everybody we've had on has said it. Sports are so relationship driven. I'm sure there's people you've met over the last 50 years in this that you're still friends with and things that if it hadn't been for sports, you might not have never met them.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
so many.
I know just from, the job I'm in and things I've done, if it hadn't been for sports, I wouldn't be a very good salesman.
You meet some of the best people there are through sports, absolutely. And,
it teaches you about life,
Sure.
Oh, goodness, yes.
Yeah. The highs, the lows, how to deal with adversity. Absolutely.
I'd say Benton football, my senior year, we had to deal with a lot of adversity. I mean, started out the year, we were at high of highs, and then hit a little rough spot there in the middle of the year, and then we ended up going to the quarterfinals, and just teaches you. It's obviously something small in high school. You're just playing football, but I think it really teaches you how to deal with stuff like that, or how to handle it of some sort.
Yeah, sure it does. And not very many are going to go on to college, and even probably none to the professional level. So it's about those experiences and learning how to work and be accountable and have some discipline and be a good teammate, because that's what's going to carry on in life. And sports are so important and teach you those lessons and
they're fun.
and they're fun.
And make them accountable, And it's just like we put in a girls' locker room last year out the track, and Tansy went out. She got somebody to donate the carpet. We got somebody to donate this and that, and it's just a little bit nicer than to have with the dang pole barn open and guys and girls coming out, and you want to give them some privacy and all. And so they worked hard on that, and now they've got a nice little locker room for them, and they appreciate it and they enjoy having it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having us on.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
This is great. Yeah.
Always like to talk sports,
Heck yeah.
don't we, Aunt Sam?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I think we can keep this going for a long time, but obviously we got to wrap it up because people want to watch this on Christmas Day and they don't want to sit there for 5 hours.
Yeah, they are. They are, Russ.
If they're driving to Chicago.
That's right.
Give them something to do.
Hey, that's the Sloans, and that's our last segment. And we'll be back to wrap things up here on the outro of the Ball for God Christmas special.
We'll see you guys. All right, welcome back to the Ball for God podcast. This is the end of it. And Travis, what the heck happened over here?
I actually de-aged a little bit and I shrunk, but I'll still sell you a car because I'm a salesman. I've got it in my blood.
Well, I don't know if you're Travis, but tell everybody who you are, because Travis made a few hints at you.
My name's Camden. I was behind the camera for the whole show with Dr. Young. Dr. Young, he's a great guy.
Yep. But let's talk some high school sports. As Camden probably doesn't know a lick of anything. He hasn't even been to his hometown team yet. But we had a great show with Bob Sloan, the Sloan family, the Wheeler family. Everybody knows the Wheeler family. The Blondis. Camden got to do a scholarship for college with the Blondis, right?
What?
I'm being serious. Didn't you do a scholarship with the Blondis?
No.
You told me, but you had to go over there, and Bobby Blondi let you in at the church or something.
I go to church with Bobby Blondi, and the Blondis, they're great people. I love them. They're very nice people, but I did not do a scholarship with them.
I don't know what the heck I was thinking then. But let's get into talking high school sports. It's holiday tournament time. But more importantly, we got the Marion Wildcats and the Centralia Orphans meeting up in Marion on Tuesday the 23rd.
Big game.
As both teams are undefeated, I will probably be there. I'm sure Darren will be there. I know Ryan Ziegler, Ziggy Photo, Field Focus will be there. John Homan with the Southern, he'll be there. If he's not there, then he'll probably be at a Carterville game. And then, I don't know, basketball's ramping up. We got some teams undefeated. The Benton Rangers are, I think, obviously that's our team still. Even though you're out of high school, I'm out of high school, but that's our team still. They're 9-1. They graduated Docker, Grant, Kyle, all those guys, and they're still rolling. One of the best defenses in our area.
Yep. The Benton Rangers are doing really good, 9-1, coming off of a win over Cairo.
Cairo.
Yep.
First time they've ever played down in Cairo.
Yep.
And school history. And we've hosted Cairo many times at the BIT, but that's the first time we've actually ever played at Cairo. And I believe that's the first time we've ever played Cairo in a non-conference game that wasn't a tournament or postseason. As we played them twice in the postseason in 1992 we played them, we beat them, and then in 2003 we wrapped it up, and I think we beat Cairo as well. But Cairo and Benton, they've had experience playing each other, but never in a non-conference game. But now let's get into talking more about other teams, like the Carterville Lions. They got 2 thrilling wins this week. They beat Goreville 69-66 on the road. Goreville almost came back, and Nicky King had 37 points. You've never seen him play probably, but he's a stud. He's only a junior, and he's had a lot of highlight games. He won the Goreville Invitational MVP. He's going to be a load this year, obviously, but even next year I'm excited to see him as he continues to progress. But Colton Hawkins had a heck of a weekend for the Lions as well, as he led the Lions to 2 wins. He had 28 points in their game against Goreville, and then they turn around. They play Nashville, which Nashville is a one-loss team as well. And they beat Nashville 75-73, and Hawkins had 23 of those points. And very high-scoring game. But, the Lions beat Nashville. Max goalie had the game-winning layup at the end. And the Lions, they look like they could be a real high-scoring team. They get some defense nailed down, and they'd be scary.
Yeah, the Goreville, the Black Cats, and in Benton, their only loss this year in the Invitational Tournament, right?
Yes.
Yep. Very impressive team this year.
I know they played one up to that point. There was a lot of question marks about Goreville. What's their defense going to be? And they let up a lot of points. I believe they'd let up 50 points in at least each game. I believe. I'm not 100% sure. Fact check me in the comments. But Goreville, then they held Benton to. Benton had 23 points entering the fourth quarter. They flipped the script in the fourth quarter and almost made the comeback, but it was just too little, too late. Schaefer scored. I think Schaefer scored 13 in the fourth, baby. But it's just you got to play the whole game to win the game. They just couldn't get the ball rolling in that game. But Benton's definitely going to be a defensive team, as I believe their defense allows about 39 to 40 points per game, which that's pretty stellar. They just got to make sure offense is always going, because as you know, if you have great defense, you still got to score some points though.
Yep. And to shift gears just a little bit, the Rangerettes have a tournament coming up, correct?
Mm-hmm.
We had a couple of them on today.
Yes, talking tournaments. It's holiday tournament season, and Benton Rangerettes Classic is one of those top tournaments, as they feature many teams in our area like Mount Vernon, Vienna. The list goes on, Carbondale.
Didn't they say 14 teams in this
14
tournament?
teams in the tournament,
Yep.
Benton, Triad. There's a lot of teams over there. I believe Harrisburg's in it, Goreville, Christopher's usually in it. And it just show how good the tournament is. The Christopher Bearcats, they got 5th place a couple years ago when Amaya Hargrove was a senior in high school. And for you guys that don't know, which I'm sure you do know, she's on at Nebraska right now. And that just shows how deep that tournament is. I think it's just a good tournament to see where you're at. As Coach Brown mentioned, it lets you see where you're at. And but now shifting gears, we're going to talk about a couple other tournaments like the El Dorado Holiday Tournament. That's personally my favorite tournament. I got the bracket here. Miranda Young just messaged me. She is happy to have Sandler Sloan on. She was happy we got him on. But let's talk about the El Dorado Holiday Tournament, as this is one of the premier tournaments. probably, in my opinion, the best atmosphere at a tournament. And Benton's actually going back to it next year. Not this year, but they'll be in it next year. This year, the Rangers are at Columbia, and boy, a lot of those Metro East, St. Louis area teams we're not really too familiar with. That I think it'll give Benton that edge of helping to see those teams. Anytime you get to go see some teams you don't usually see, that helps. Like Nashville, they play in the Modern Day Classic. A lot of those games are just seeing teams you don't usually see. That helps so much more, different styles. But here's the where to go? Okay.
Russell's got Facebook pulled up right now.
Here is the schedule for the El Dorado Holiday Tournament. The Carterville Lions and Carmi White County Bulldogs open up at 8:30. NCOE versus Edwards County. Fairfield versus West Frankfort. Hamilton County versus Gallatin County. And then it's Heron Tigers versus Hardin County Cougars, which I think Heron Tigers, they're ranked number 3 in the tournament. But, man, those Cougars, they're the 14 seed, but I think they're scary. I think they could upset Heron. I think, just looking at the bracket, if the Cougars get hot, I think they could potentially make the quarterfinals, maybe even the semifinals. And I don't know, they got it rolling down there. They got a senior-led group down there with Nate Massey and Landon Fricker, and they're just a good ball club down there. I'm definitely forgetting some names. But then you look down, you got Vienna, Harrisburg. Vienna's the 6th-ranked team, but, ever since the Vienna Classic, they've been hitting a low line. They've been playing some tough teams. They go on the road. They play Nashville, who's, like we mentioned, one of the top teams. But, the bracket keeps disappearing. But Vienna and Nashville, they're led by Silas Kruger. And then over at the 2 seed, the 2 seed is the Massac County Patriots, and they'll host the Carrier. Host is where if it's at El Dorado. They're not hosting, but they'll play the Carrier Mills Wildcats, and then the El Dorado Eagles will host the Anna Jonesboro Wildcats. We can say host there because it's their tournament. But it'll be a pretty stacked tournament. I think it'll probably, on paper, it's probably going to be the Carterville Lions and Massac County Patriots. Like I said, keep an eye out on the Cougars because they're the 14 seed over there. But I don't know. I think they should have been ranked personally. I think that you're forgetting about them. If they're not ranked, I think they should have been at least the 9, 10 seed. But I think they got one of the more favorable spots, even though they're a 14 seed, because you got Heron, Hardin County, Vienna, Harrisburg just in their little pod, which most years you'd be like, that's kind of scary. What are we going to do? But all those teams graduate a lot of seniors the past couple years. So Hardin County, they might be able to do some things.
Yeah, I don't know too much about any of those teams. I think I'm going to pass this one right back to you.
Yeah, but El Dorado, great tournament. My favorite tournament. I grew up going there every year. I'll probably be there at least one day. Our buddy Alan Ellison will be there. El Dorado, man. But we're going to head over to Pinckneyville. Pinckneyville is 1A loaded. And we got the Murfreesboro Mount Carmel Eagles. We're talking about the Mount Carmel Golden Aces, And they kick it off at 9 a.m. Carlisle versus Jersey at 10:30. Albany, the Richland County Tigers versus Steelville Warriors at noon. The Woodlawn Cardinals. That's led by Kyle Cooper, a transfer in there. They just recently beat the Waltonville Spartans. That's a statement win. A lot of people were wanting to get a ticket there. I didn't even get one. No, I'm joking. Darren Kennard, he went over there for the coverage this week. But Woodlawn, they'll play Meridian at 1:30. Roxana versus Chester. Pinckneyville versus Christopher. Salem versus Oakville. And Sparta versus Trico. This could very well be a 1A tournament this year. You got Woodlawn, Carlisle. You got Christopher, Chester, Oakville, Sparta, Trico. All 1A teams. I think it could very well be a 1A championship over there. It's really Benton's not in it anymore, and it was Benton Pinckneyville last year and Pinckneyville Albany the year prior. It's been dominated by those 2A schools, 2A, 3A schools, which Albany is the only 3A, but it's been dominated by the 2A schools, and I think it could be a 1A that wins it this year, potentially 1A versus 1A.
Yep, lots of big 1A names in that tournament right there.
Yes, and Sparta, as we mentioned, they could be scary. They play that kind of pressure defense that the Meridian Bobcats have played. Many of you guys realize that Meridian was a dominant team because of that pressure defense. As we mentioned on the podcast the last couple of weeks, when Meridian plays, it's like having 10 guys on the court, and that's kind of the way Sparta plays. they're a very young team, so it makes you wonder, well, how much can they really do? But I've seen this Sparta team play, and I think they could do some serious things. If they catch you on an off night, they could very well beat you, and I think that they're probably one of the top 1A teams in our area for sure. And then obviously you got the Woodlawn Cardinals, who they beat the Petenyville Panthers, the hosts of the Duster Thomas, and then they beat Waltonville. That's statement win, and they're 9-0 right now. Woodlawn is my pick to win it right now, just because they got the win over Petenyville. They were up 48-37 late in that game versus Petenyville, but the Panthers went on a 12-2 run to almost come back and win it. But I'd still give the edge to Woodlawn for right now because they controlled that game pretty well the whole game. And but it's going to be fun to see over there. We got a lot of tournaments that I didn't even mention because, hey, we got Camden. We got Centralia, the longest running tournament. We got so many tournaments that you could look at and that you guys all need to go to because Illinois is tournament crazy, and I love it, but you need to make sure to check it out. At least go to one tournament, dude. It's great. I think I'll probably end up at least Camden one day, probably Benton Christmas Classic, probably go to El Dorado, Petenyville. That's El Dorado and Petenyville and Cesar. That's my usual stomping grounds, but I'm going to try to hit them all this year. At least 5 tournaments. I usually go to 3, but it's great. Camden, I'm sure we'll go to none, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, that's a very busy schedule for you, all those tournaments. Very tournament-heavy area, like he said and like was talked about on the podcast. Yeah,
we're trying to decide. We're not going to be able to release episode. We're trying to decide if we're going to do one December 30th or not. Because basketball, like I said, that's a very busy time of year for me. So I almost lost my breath there. I almost fell back. I almost passed out there.
That would have been bad. I would have had to take over. And like we've stated, I don't know anything about sports in this area really.
But yeah, but we might or might not have an episode on New Year's Day. I mean, might have to. It's a New Year's Day special. We got Thanksgiving special. We got the Christmas special.
You got to complete the holiday specials.
But I don't know. I'd say there's a 50-50 chance if we film December 30th and have an episode out on New Year's Day, because it's a busy time of year, and so we might take a break. We'll keep you posted on the socials, as the kids say. I'm a kid, so I don't know. Travis is the one that says it, so I had to fill the void.
Yep, I'm not filling Travis's void.
But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and we hope to catch you guys here whenever we film again. I assume that, I don't know, there's 50-50 like I said, but this concludes episode 7 with Camden Overturf as the outro guy here.
Yep.
Camden, just make sure you stay safe. You got to get some games.
I'm going to try to. Just because I was here today, I'm going to try to go to at least one tournament.
Yeah, it'd be good for you. It doesn't hurt a kid to go to a tournament, Last night, what's Carterville?
Yeah.
You got to go to a game at least, Best case scenario, I would love to see Camden at Marion on Tuesday. If you guys aren't doing anything, you need to go to Marion on Tuesday, because Marion, Centralia, 2 undefeated teams facing off. That could be a good game. Like I said, Cam Curry, Blake Blue, Mackay House, Callahan Roper, and Sam Atkins for the Wildcats. And then you got some more guys off the bench. And then over at Centralia, you got Archie Guai, Michael Organ, Jackson Hancock, Kenny Bratton, Devin Meyer, many more off the bench as well. And it's going to be a pretty stellar matchup, as Marion lost to Centralia last year at Centralia. Close ball game. I'm blanking on the score, but then Marion came back and beat Centralia at home last year, and to get a piece of the South 7 title for the first time in 37 years. They beat them 70-62 at home last year. It'll be a good one. Make sure you stay tuned and get there, because both these teams are very special. Marion's more of your fast pace, give you some jams, give you some highlights. Centralia is more of your slow pace, very fundamental, very great chemistry, and love playing together. And they're led by one of the greatest coaches in Southern Illinois history with Lee Bennett. Same with Marion, Gus Gillespie. It'd just be a fun atmosphere. We need people there, because that's what Southern Illinois sports needs. They need people in the gyms. That's what creates the atmosphere. That's what creates the history.
Yep, don't be like me.
Don't be like Camden, because that's why Southern Illinois sports has died, because of Camden.
Me specifically, actually.
Yes, and Camden Overturf killed Southern Illinois sports. So if you want to,
be sure to post that on all your socials next week. Make that a big thing.
I don't know. I was honestly thinking about posting on Ball and Forgot, so just stay tuned, and we'll catch you guys next week or whenever. See you guys.
See you guys.
Travis will be back soon.